Calling all stations. Clear the air lanes. Clear all air lanes for the big broadcast.
Which is not the case. Trust me, if somebody was sitting on me right now, I'd be a lot happier and a lot more chipper. But nobody is sitting on me right now. I am perfect. I am I mean, it not even specifically that, but just in general. There's anybody like I would probably feel less
Dylan sat on you, it would feel good.
No, that would not feel good, but
I'm grateful that I shit on anybody.
I imagine
Dylan just
like
fucking just like sheds one bloody tear, just like.
Have you seen the picture of Patrick and Brayden in bed together?
I was not. I was
there.
thoroughly. My jimmies were thoroughly rustled when I saw that. I was like, I feel like I should sue somebody here. Like, I feel like I need to call my lawyer and be like, hey man.
Only right there.
Never fear, Bill. 'Twas a pale imitation.
Well, I was like, what are they even reading? I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that is.
It's Steve Rifle's book on Godzilla.
You know what?
It's the best one out there, Bill.
You know what? I can put a book on top of Godzilla. That doesn't make me special either. So,
With all the information that's out there on Wikipedia.
No. That's not what I said. I said I couldn't put a book on top of Godzilla. That's what I said.
Oh.
we read
write your own Godzilla book.
We read indie comics in bed together, like men.
Hello, everyone. I am Bill Worcester, a.k.a. Zazubaar. This is the Sons of Serizawa podcast. I don't know what fucking episode number it is. It might be 84. I think it's deep. We're in deeper than that, though. I could be wrong. So one of them will look it up, presumably. Joining me is oh god, here we go. It's David Joshua Hernandez, a.k.a. Gorzard.
We keep making these podcasts under these conditions because we're non-union.
Exactly. Hey, David. If you were union, would I be obligated to have the Yongery footage that you're dishing out to all these high-ranking Godzilla fan community celebrities?
What do you mean? You want the footage?
Where's all our Yongery footage?
No, I want to have the credit of having it. So if people ask me, oh, who's got it? If people ask you, oh, who's got it? And I want you to be like, oh, Bill Worcester, he's got it. He's got, like, multiple copies of it. Like, he's got it backed up. Like, so if they'll come to me then, like, that's what I want. Anyway, Dylan McCandless, Super DM 64, he's unfortunately here as well. No.
All right, well, I mean, I can leave.
Please don't. Don't leave me alone with the non-whites. Also joining me is Andres Perez, a.k.a. Gosh Noir.
Oh, how I've missed this.
I know.
And by the way, this is currently episode 84.
I knew it! Oh! Dylan, I'm surprised you didn't look it up. You usually call me. See, you know what? I hurt his feelings, and now he's not going to do shit for me.
I decided I wasn't going to do it this time, Bill, because you need to be a man and look up your own episode titles.
Oh! Oh, I see how it is. I see how it is.
Research.
Now I gotta do everything. I can't rely on you for shit. I see. This isn't your show. It's my show. I understand. Okay. I see where we are now.
You know, Andres keeps repeating the phrase, I've been missing this, because unfortunately, and I felt very sorry for you, by the way, you had to spend the entire weekend with the low rent, generic...
The B team.
Yeah,
The B squad. Oh, that's not fair. They're probably fine.
Since this is episode 84, are we gonna have the ending theme to Godzilla 84 here?
Sayonara Godzilla or whatever. Goodbye Godzilla.
Goodbye now Godzilla, as the singer actually says it.
Well, I think she says sayonara at one point. But I don't fucking remember. I haven't listened to that song since I was like 15 and emo and shit.
Just imagine little emo Bill just the only thing here.
Electro Bill.
Electro Bill.
I like to imagine that emo Bill happened in 2010 at the same time as Electro Gorzard, and that's when they met.
And our electricity canceled each other out, and we became normal people, and that's who you guys met. Anyway, so yeah, wild shit has gone down since we last met. Andres, you went to fucking G-Fest, so and yes, you did spend it with some other people who were not Dylan and I, because or Kyle or other people.
Yeah.
So, what the fuck happened, man?
Okay, so let's see. I ended up getting to Chicago on Tuesday. Christopher Martinez and his wife, Annie, were gracious enough to let me stay at their house for the entire experience. Wednesday, Thursday, I mostly just chilled. Friday, I went to the
You got there way earlier than we ever did.
Yeah, Actually, I would usually arrive on Tuesday at your place, and then we would spend like Tuesday and Thursday.
That's true. So technically it was the same for you.
Yeah.
I just think of it because we don't leave my house until Thursday, so for me, my vacation doesn't really start until that day. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. So, let's see. So Tuesday and Thursday, we were just relaxing, chilling. I was just mostly watching the new Castlevania series on Netflix and binge watching Robotech.
All right, hang on. Hold off on G-Fest. Castlevania is fucking insane, right?
Yes, it is. It's fucking great.
It's one of the best things I've seen in recent years. Like, I've rewatched it like 4 times because A, it's really short, and B, it's just insanely good. Like, on every level, the dialogue, the story, the action, the animation, voice out, it's masterpiece. But I'm sure G-Fest was just as good, wasn't it?
Yes, I'd like to say so.
You can rate it as just as good as Castlevania. Yeah. Better than Castlevania. That's the.
Yeah, that'll be my new rating.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways, Friday I went to the Chicago Field Museum with Denny Roth, the guy behind the webcomic series Marshall Starr. He and I, and along with his friends, we got to see in person Sue, the world's most famous T-Rex skeleton, the largest, most complete, and most well-preserved T-Rex skeleton ever found in history. And it was really great seeing that skeleton in person. They had a great array of dinosaur and other prehistoric animal skeletons out there. There was an amazing Jurassic World exhibition where they had these very lifelike animatronics that look way better than any of the CG dinosaurs that you would see in the actual movie. Unfortunately enough. Let's see. We went to see. I ended up meeting.
Hang on, wait, before you left the museum.
Yeah.
Did you lose your hypothalamus to any creatures stalking the hallways, or do you still have your hypothalamus now?
I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna say yes.
First of all, you've obviously never seen Osmosis Jones because the hypothalamus is the temperature center of the brain. Second of all, Bill, why are you referencing an obscure audiobook that only you and I listen to?
I'm referencing the movie version, which takes place in Chicago, and that is the museum that the movie was filmed at.
Might be even more obscure.
Well, I thought it was funny, and that's all that matters, you know? This is my YouTube channel, goddammit. I'm gonna fucking do it to make me laugh. David left because he knows I'm right. So the museum was really cool. So here's my question: what is different about it from the Museum of Natural History, if anything, that makes it like the Field Museum?
the only museum of natural history I've ever been to was the San Diego Museum of Natural History, and it's been like 10 years or 15 years since I've been there, so I wouldn't be able to properly answer that question. Other than it's a very wide museum, where it's like the entrance is very like like the main hall where the T-Rex skeleton is at is kind of small-ish, but then they got like two floors. And each floor has their own exhibition. So like on the top floor to the right side is the whole history of the world, part one. And so downstairs on the right, there's like a... Brooks movie. Yeah.
They have every single frame on the walls, and you have to go through each and every wall in order to see the whole movie. It's very experimental.
God, I would just hang out in the Inquisition section the whole time.
There's like a Chinese culture area. There's this one area with a bunch of plants. The lights were for whatever reason, the lights were very dim in like the plant exhibition. Although Danny and I joked that the reason why the lights were very dim was because no one was in there, and because who gives a fuck about plants? So they probably said, why bother turning the lights on here in this giant room?
I'd like to think that somewhere right now there's a botany student listening to this podcast, and they just went, "Oh."
Yeah, they're like, "Dude."
I'd like to think it was because they were all like fucking hiding their fucking stashes of drugs and alcohol and and weapons and pornography and in that room because nobody was going in there. So that's why they had the lights dim. So like anybody who did wander in, like any nerds like yourselves, would wander and they wouldn't catch on. No. So what? So it's not like they're not like real plants though, right? Like they're fucking fake.
Probably not.
Yeah, you would assume. I was just gonna say like the lights aren't dim in order to fucking keep the fucking plants alive. You know, it's.
But most of these plants were in like these glass containers, like you would see a skeleton featured in like a container. So I'm figuring they're probably fake.
They're very expensive fakes apparently. Anyway.
Let's see. Anything else? There was a movie that they featured, like a short movie, like a little theater room. You can go in and watch a movie based on Sue the T-Rex. We didn't have enough time to go there, but we mostly spend half our time in the dinosaur area, the other half in the Jurassic World exhibition. We went back to the Chicago O'Hare Hotel, the Crown Plaza, and from there I met up with Brayden and Andrew. Unfortunately, Patrick didn't come in until like late in the evening. But before then, we went to the Mysterian 60th anniversary panel where we saw Steve Rifle and Ed Godziszewski in person. They were the ones moderating the panel and giving a shit ton of information and interesting stories behind the makings of the movie. Let's see. The next day, we went to the Michiru Oshira panel. She was the one person who composed the music for Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, and Godzilla Tokyo SOS. And it was really great seeing her, and it was really interesting testing out my Japanese comprehension skills, which I feel like increased since last year, because last year I could only understand like maybe 5% of whatever the Japanese guest was saying. Now I can understand like roughly 30 to 40% of what they were saying, using like certain clues and hints to get a general gist of what she was talking about.
And of course you understood all the profanity. Because you know that you know that these Japanese guests are like fucking nobody in this room knows what we're talking about, so I'm just gonna like.
Actually, she was using a very like general, like polite, formal style of Japanese. Meanwhile, I noticed that Robert Scott Field was translating it in a very casual, chill version of English.
Well, he always tries to make them sound really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand the process you're describing, Andres, because that exact process you were just using to understand what the Japanese guests are saying is the same process that I had to use when Don Fry was there. That's how I understood the man.
He says hi.
I don't have any memory.
Let's see. Afterwards,
there are two things you don't know about the Earth. One of them is what was it?
I don't know him either because I forgot him.
I got punched in the head, I think. but one of them was Godzilla.
Thanks.
Let's see. The next thing we went to was the Lost Godzilla films panel, which was kind of a misleading title because it's not so much about Lost Godzilla films, but just unmade, unproduced, or canceled tokusatsu productions between Daiei and Toho.
Right, yeah, that's the misnomer. It's not like Godzilla movies that are buried in a ditch somewhere that nobody's ever seen. It's like, well, this one never got shot. It's a script that nobody ever's ever read.
Like, here's a script that was taken under consideration for like 5 seconds, and that's it.
Here's an outline that Shinkichi Serizawa wrote in 1963 when he was really fucking high.
Here's a napkin that he drew a picture of Ultraman kicking Godzilla's ass at one point.
And then E.G. Sabraya like drew dick butt on it, and then he signed it, and then Ishiro Honda brought it to Toho and was like, I would like to make this film. And now we have, and that's how Geej for the Three-Headed Monster was made.
Let's see.
Even though that was before Ultraman was created.
In other words, and then we went around our usual hangout spots. We went to the Artist Alley, meet some of our old friends. We actually visited Kaiju.
Your old friends, you mean? Because
yeah, I guess so.
Were new.
Let's see. We visited. We went to the Kaiju Assault card game for the first time, where Chris Martinez and Matt Denian's monsters were now like licensed out to appear as expansion packs in the card game, which was really cool. Talked to Brandon Phillips, the guy behind the game, for a while, and it was really nice to see him there. We went to the. Yeah.
Is there a chance we'll see Draco Azul licensed to these guys?
Maybe.
That was really high pitched. I think that broke a malto.
Possibly.
Oh God, stop it!
No man, you got to go in there, swing for the fences. I want you to go in there and pitch Musla, man.
Yeah, you literally need to go in there with a fucking moose antler and hit the guy in the head, and go, "You better fucking do what I want, dickhead."
We need an SOS expansion pack. We need Polaris, Musla, or Kindness.
I mean, he would be dead at this point, so you just be... I mean, at this point, you've lost it. You're a crazy person. I mean, it's just... You're raving at nothing. But, you know, it's all about it's all about the gesture. It's all about the show of power, you know?
It would bring a much-needed goofiness to the game, you know? Much like the Toon
Yeah,
monsters
the murder. The murder would bring a much-needed goofiness.
I was more referring to our kaiju, but yeah.
Oh. Okay, that makes more sense.
What you gotta do?
In that case, we would need like Inshoma to capture that cartoony goofiness for our monsters.
What you gotta do, Andres? For me,
I'll get Chris to do the murder.
I need you to do this very specific thing for me. When you kill the guy, I need you to hit him over the back of the head with a coffee pot.
No, it's a moose antler, you fuck!
No, because then the joke doesn't work. Caffeine will kill you.
Oh.
This podcast is going to be presented as evidence at Andres' murder trial.
No, it's not going to be Andres' murder trial. It's going to be the trial of the guy who he murdered. No, wait. I fucked that up. It's going to be the trial of... David, you screwed me up. I hate you.
Murder victim on trial.
Oh no! I'm so. Oh, never mind. Andres is on trial. You're right, David. Good job. You get a cookie.
Bill, I want you to write an episode of Law and Order.
No, I was gonna say it's the guy who Andres murder trial, but we don't know his name. I don't know the guy. I don't remember the guy's name. So anyway,
Brandon Phillips.
It's Brandon's murder's trial.
Can you imagine if that's how our society works? If we put the murder victim on trial, like Mr. O.J. Simpson, we find you not guilty on the grounds of bitch had it coming.
The fucking corpse is just laying on the table. No lawyer. People are just fucking hanging their heads in shame.
Some flies are flying around the heads.
Andres, I'm glad you missed this because I just feel stressed out now. Anyway,
Anyway, afterwards,
I'll drink some soda. I'll feel fine.
We went to the dealer's room. Wasn't me? I want to know if you guys remember this, but did they ever give out like wristbands early in the morning, and in order to like to decrease the large amounts of crowds that would show up whenever the dealer's room would open. Because this year they were giving out bracelets saying that, like, okay, anyone who has like this number to this number, you guys can go in at this time. Guys with this number and this number, you come in at a later time.
I think they were talking about doing that last I heard, but I don't think they've ever done it while we were there.
Okay, because they did it this year. Yeah, but I still remember there being a huge ass line.
Well, of course.
Yeah. So let's see. On then we filmed some more stuff for my channel. Then on Sunday we went to the Ultra 7 50th anniversary panel, which was kind of a disappointment because most of the panel, like maybe half, if not more so, of the panel was dedicated to this one dude in Japan who made a replica of the car from the show. It's like, can we move on from this guy? I want to know more about the actual TV show that this panel is named after.
So it wasn't even about the car; it was about the guy.
No, it was about the guy and his car.
Well, but it was like, oh, this guy had a very tragic childhood. His dad lost his gas station to a fucking fire.
It was about the car then. It was about the car.
Well, what was it? Was it about like the horsepower? What was under the hood? Like
it was just like the process of how he made the car and where like certain public events that he took the car to, and
where
certain
people were like, "What the fuck
the actor
is it?"
who played Dan Moroboshi from the show.
Okay, I see.
Like a small chunk.
So the guy was there.
The panel was actually dedicated to the show, and there was though there were several questions. We had another Japanese guest who was the guy who played Ultra 721 from the, I guess, direct-to-video series Ultraman Neos from the 90s.
Okay, but my question was.
Ragone was not at this year's G-Fest.
Oh wow! Okay.
Oh, no wonder they didn't have any material for the panel. That's the guy with all the information. Like,
that's the Ultra guy.
That's this guy knows what he's talking about, guy.
Yeah. Speaking of August Ragone, he will pop up in my news section later in the episode.
Okay, cool. I like him a lot, so that's cool.
You're gonna be talking about the Chayo thing.
Yep, I'm going to talk about the Chayo thing.
Well, hang on, you didn't answer my question before. So was the guy who made the car at the panel?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, why'd they focus on him so much?
The American guy who rode in the car, he was at the panel.
Oh, so that's why he was fucking obsessed with it. Okay, that makes sense.
Was the suit actor who played Ella King at the panel?
Unfortunately not.
God damn it.
They were going to have Robert Scott Field, who I believe played Ultra 7X. He was going to be in it, but he was unfortunately too busy and he could not be in the panel.
Wait, he actually played Ultra 7X?
I think? Maybe? I could be wrong.
What the fuck? I had no idea he was an Ultraman at one point.
You sound convinced. Was Ben Faruya at the panel?
No, he was not at this year's. No, he was not at the panel, nor was he in America during this time at all.
They should just have him every year now because that man is a legend.
Yes.
They should just have his suits. They should just like prop them up on wires.
He was technically in Ultra 7. He was one of the main human cast members.
Oh wow! They wow! what a world.
You know, before I met the guy, I would have just been like, he's the guy who played Ultraman. But then after we met the guy, I was like, that is the coolest man in the world.
Yeah.
So was the car at the panel?
He's like Benny from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He's just sitting there in the chair.
I imagine him more like fucking Speed Buggy, where it's like.
I answer all your questions.
See, I was waiting for you to do the impression because I couldn't do it.
Ready to burn some rubber.
I never thought I would be in the position to critique somebody's Speed Buggy impression. This is...
Wait. Didn't Andres say those exact words when he rode my car in California?
Oh, I don't remember. I was probably asleep.
I don't know.
I probably passed out in the car with my eyes open while I was speaking. I'm known to do that from time to time.
After the disappointment that was the Ultra 7 panel, we went to downstairs in the
Did you guys, like, show your disappointment? Did you, like, burn some dog poop in the doorway?
No. We went to the next panel, which was another guest, which was Kiyotaka Deguchi. He was the guy who created the indie films Daikaiju Eiga G and Gahara, the dark and long-haired monster, and would go on to create the newer Ultraman show, Ultraman X, Ultraman Orb, and the newest show, Ultraman Geed. They had a panel where they were focusing on his body of work. It was a small room, but it was really packed.
Did anybody say Ultraman Geed? Was there any of that going around?
We were late, so I have no idea if we heard that.
Did anybody pronounce Kaiju K2 at this year's proceedings?
I'm pretty sure I may have heard a mispronunciation here or there.
Oh boy.
Was there any Gaira?
You
gotta love.
Oh yeah, that guy from the War of the Gargantuous panel.
Gaira may have made an appearance or two.
Santa versus Gaira. Let's see. And then after that, what else did we do? Did more of the same stuff, walking around. Oh, I did talk to one. Do you know that Japanese artist who occasionally posts his art on Toku Legion, Hiroshi Kanatani?
Yes.
Yes, I met him, and I had a nice little chat with him, got to practice a little bit of my Japanese with him, and I got a commission of Godzilla versus Gundam, and it was very cool. I almost missed him because when Brayton, Patrick, Andrew, and I were recording our Godzilla versus Hedorah commentary, we accidentally missed the time when all the artists were leaving Artist Alley, so we had to look around the hotel and eventually tracked him down to get my commission.
He actually speaks English?
Very, very, very little English. Where he understands English, but on a very basic level, like many Japanese people here in Japan who kind of practice English. You would have to speak to him in a very basic level, in a very slower manner, in order for him to follow what you're saying.
You mean like how we talk with Bill?
Oh, that you actually he got a really good one in there, the prick. Oh my god! Wow, out of nowhere too. I was just sitting here sitting here drinking my Diet Coke. He just fucking snapped at me like an adder and shit. My god. Oh, you're gonna fucking regret that.
You dirty motherfucker.
You're gonna regret that, David.
Are we basically getting a union?
Oh, definitely not now.
What about that 401k or dental?
You're going to be lucky if you have teeth by the end of this podcast.
We're never getting dental now.
I walked into that one, didn't I?
Yeah, just like you're going to walk into my fist and your teeth are going to be out of your mouth.
Next time you ask for dental, he's going to set you up with the dentist from Little Shop of Horrors.
But it's not even going to be that character. It's going to be actual Steve Martin. He's going to be in a dentist office like, hi, this guy just paid me like $200. He wants me to pull your teeth out. So I'm fucking, not only am I bored, I'm also fucked up in the head. I never told anybody about it, so I'm going to do it. So sit down.
Let's see. And the last thing we went to was the Kaiju Gaiden panel where we saw
I
Mark
love how
Carmio
Andres is just able to follow that up. Great.
What?
I just love how you're able to follow that up so smoothly. I love you. So Kaiju Gaiden panel, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, so it's Mark Carmio once again showing off another bevy of random, obscure indie movies or random commercials or recent short movies that people may not have heard about. And that's when we saw a trailer for the Yongari project, which is made by Evan Brahani, which he's been making as a one-man production army for the last couple of years. And I got to see David's name credited for providing footage. 7 years, yes. So I guess he was able to get some interviews from some of the cast members from that movie, possibly. And there was also some behind the scenes footage of the movie itself, where it's like, hey, we're here on the set of Yongari, we're about Yongari. We're about to film this movie, and look at us being all happy. This movie's going to be big for South Korea. Woohoo!
Well, hang on. So is it behind the scenes of the monster stuff, or is it behind the scenes of the human stuff?
Just the general production of the movie.
So
both?
Do they ever interact with the cast?
I think it was Evan Brahani. He was able to get some interviews with two of them.
He interviewed a couple of the people who helped within the production and one of the actors, the guy, what was his name, Mr. Black?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, he interviewed him.
Mr. Black. Is that the...
Yeah, I thought he died.
Photographer.
Oh, he was...
Freaking believable.
Oh, well, so he
That's
was...
incredible. That
So,
guy.
so they talked about... He talked about the guy who was in the first 20 minutes. Good.
Did he interview the one Korean guy with the really good hair? There's like one Korean guy in that movie who has just fabulous hair. It's magnetic. It draws the eye.
I do not know. The only interview I remember was just the two Americans. Yeah.
There was a Korean guy in the movie?
I don't even remember who you're talking about. I remember there was a Korean bus driver.
It was the biggest thing for South Korea since the war. So yeah, there were Koreans.
Hey! They were also in Die Another Day, okay? There was a big scene in one of the South Korean cities in that. So,
yeah,
true.
that was a thing.
You know what? They had Die Another Day. I'm just trying to give them that Madonna song.
Also, Max, related to the war, but...
hey, they had Gangnam Style, okay?
Nobody had Gangnam Style. We all just took it.
Cultural appropriation.
I'm trying to credit them with things they can be proud of, Andres. All right.
All right, then. So let's see. That's generally what we mainly did at the convention. Oh, yeah, and I was able to meet up with Tyler Souls, and after making some arrangements, I can now say that the Draco Azul comic book is now in production.
Holy shit, that's awesome, dude. Congratulations.
Yep, we got our artist. I got James Biggie, who's going to be doing the cover for the book. He's also going to be doing the lettering for the book. We're still looking for a colorist, but James may have pointed me in the right direction, so hopefully things will go well there. And as for a publisher, we're going to try to look for a publisher for the Draco Azul #1, but if not, we can always go the self-published route, and hopefully we'll be able to have this book ready by next year's G-Fest. So I'll also be able to hopefully maybe spend some time in the Artist Alley with the book at Tyler Souls' table.
That's awesome, bro. Congratulations.
Thank you very much,
when,
dude.
when can I start expecting royalties for?
I'll give you 50 cents for every comic sold.
You know what? I'll take it.
I'll just start putting it in a little jar just called Blue Money.
I don't have standards.
Or money.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah, Jesus, you literally just blew out one of my eardrums, you prick.
I don't know why. It's like a recent thing that happens. I guess whenever my headphones get close to the microphone, now it makes that sound for whatever reason. That never happened before. If
you're going to have a metahuman ability to create a sonic screech, do it off the podcast.
Okay.
I thought Anders' metahuman ability was his voice.
Me too.
That's literally what I just said. His sonic voice. His sonic, high-pitched screech.
Well, not his sonic voice, but his ability to change his voice to different characters.
That's not a... Don't give him credit as that for a superpower. That's just that's a freak accident is what that is. No.
Anders did the Whisper Joe from Family Guy.
No, it's not a freak accident. You know what that is?
I don't appreciate this kind of language, Bill.
No, you didn't let me fucking finish. You guys are always like, shut up, Bill. It's like, well, let me fucking finish. It's raw talent, Andres. You're a talented man.
Thank you.
See, now it feels really gay and mushy and shit, doesn't it?
I'm trying to ruin that. If you, Andres changes his voice from deep guy #1 to deep guy #2.
Anders, I'm surprised you didn't work for Funimation.
Who knows?
Yeah, you should hop on that. You should play Kale from Dragon Ball Super.
So a girl.
No, when she transforms, it would be hilarious. Like she could have a little girl, and then when she transforms into fucking Broly, it would just be Andre.
Fee fi fo fum.
I bet you hoped you could go back to your planet. Just blows it up.
Yeah. So I guess overall that is kind of generally in a nutshell of G-Fest 24.
Wow. So nothing insane happened though. Nobody
The closest thing that happened was that somebody recognized me and asked for my picture.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and
where did they recognize you from?
Most likely the SOS, because he said he was looking for you guys all on Friday.
Oh, I see.
We got fans.
We wouldn't be there.
And yeah, and I guess this guy
I love how Dave.
like the same.
I love how David was the first one to speak in that instance. He's like, "Oh, we got fans," and I'm like, "David, I don't think he was looking for you, buddy."
It's like really funny because he recognized me by my voice because I was sitting behind him in the. We were at that one little theater room underneath and the basement floor, and we were watching like a series. Chris and I were watching a series of those Dojo Studios movies, and. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, and then I was talking to Chris, and the fan turned around, looked at me for like a second. Kaiju Noir? And I was like, yep, that's me. And
but did he buy you dinner? Because that's kind
no,
of
he did not buy me dinner.
See, nobody has ever topped the one guy, James, whatever his last name.
Was that James Bavolo?
Yes.
Yeah, that's his name. I should know on Facebook.
I will never forget.
I was like, I will never forget. What's his name again?
The guy, what the fuck are we talking about? Who are you people? What are you doing in my house?
And the guy, I think his name was Colin or Collins. I think it was Colin. And apologies for you for listening. If you're listening out there, Colin, if I get your name wrong.
It's Colleen.
And I told him that, like, you know, you guys weren't able to come this year, and I told him that, well, you know, David is David, so he's never here. And he was like, yep, always buying those bootlegs. I'm like, that's right, my friend.
Oh, so he was looking for you, see? You know, David, sometimes you and I can be friends. It's not, it doesn't always have to be... we don't always have to be on each other's asses, you know? Sometimes we can just look at each other and go, hey, you're all right, you know? I like what you're about.
I guess like he was
it's rare. It's rare, but sometimes it can happen.
I suppose
if he had really been that devoted of a listener, though, he would have heard the announcement that we wouldn't be there. But whatever.
But no, he probably still believed. It's like maybe there's a chance they can come. He's like on the lookout for a really tall New Yorker with a backwards hat, with a backwards cap.
Fucking
Hawaiian shirts.
I fucking got thrown through the fucking glass window. Just fucking appeared fucking like superhero style. I'm just like, what happened? I don't know how I got here. I was abducted by
here because I am here.
I was abducted by aliens. Fucking dropped into G-Fest. They have fucking they have a tracker on me. They want to know what's going on. They think G-Fest is a microcosm of all of humanity, and they want to analyze it. I told them they were fucking idiots, but they stuck an anal probe in me, so I really couldn't really say anything. So anyway, somebody get me a fucking soda or something. I mean, I got an anal probe, so I deserve something. A soda, weed, something. Preferably weed.
Sexually.
Yeah, they didn't fuck me. They just stuck a metal tube up my ass, as if this really happened. Anyway, let's move on, please.
Hey, man, we've all taken a metal rod before.
Well, sounds like you certainly have.
I was mainly paraphrasing a quote you made a while ago.
I know.
Yeah, that iconic Bill.
You gotta watch out. You gotta watch out for that. You mess around, give yourself tetanus. Nah.
Next thing you know, you end up having the space AIDS.
Rod in the ass is going to be the next hit internet video where it's like, oh, you have to watch Rod in the ass. Don't try not to throw up. It's like, this is significantly less gross. It's more questionable than anything else. Why?
Two girls, one in the ass.
2 girls, 1 Rod. Two Godzilla fans, 1 Rod.
Two copies.
But no. Yeah, I was gonna say the Rod is separating DVDs. I don't know. Anyway, so it was a good time, right?
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad somebody was having a good time.
Yeah.
But
it certainly wasn't the same without you guys.
No, I was bummed all weekend. I wasn't like depressed that I will ever admit, but I was.
You were not sitting in the bathroom crying over a trade paperback of Godzilla Rulers of Earth.
I will not that I will ever admit, but the
fact that that happened on the very first G-Fest trip, or rather at the end of it, and Bill still thinks he can play the tough guy thing every now and then. It's hilarious.
Wait. Bill actually cried over Godzilla Rulers of Earth?
No, he wasn't crying at the comic. He was crying because he missed his friends.
Because this was our very first year, like, together, and we had no idea if this was ever going to be a thing we'd ever do again.
Oh, you guys
We
fucking
get back on
suck.
the plane, and he reverts into a lonely sack of shit, and he goes to cry. And then I call him, I'm like, I need you to pick me up from the airport because my flight got canceled.
Which ruined it. And then by the time I finally got rid of him, I was like, fucking good. Oh, God.
And I'll have you know, I bet you guys will be glad to know that we did not, like, with Andrew, Brain, and Patrick, we did not carry on the tradition of watching Planet of the Apes. That is strictly our thing.
Oh.
I kind of wish we had so that we could review it, but what?
I'm actually kind of mad at you for not doing that, because
be honest,
could have.
The only reason why I didn't see any movies in America was because we had notes, zero time.
Oh, I see.
The one time Andres does
one
an
thing for you guys,
and Bill gets mad at him for it.
It's like, I did this for you guys, and we're like, you fucking asshole.
You fucking idiot! What is wrong with you, dumb sack? Now, aside from like us reviewing it, like we have a lot to talk about tonight anyway. Like we're probably not gonna, we wouldn't have time to do it anyway. But we would have liked to have done it sooner rather than later, you know. But more than that, it's a good fucking movie. It's a good fucking movie. I wish you would have seen it because you could have enjoyed it and been like, oh, that made my penis feel good, and you know, I want my friends to feel that way. So you know.
What?
This just took a turn.
Anyway.
Change is on.
Listen.
That's what he said at G-Fest.
I said a lot of things at G-Fest when we were sharing a bed together.
Yeah, I remember one of them was like, can you turn around because this is weird. I was like, yeah, you're right.
I remember we always had to face like a back-to-back. It was always so fucking funny. But it was always a big bed, and we were always like, if it's gonna be if I have to share a bed with anybody, at least we know that we're both so awkward about it, like nothing's gonna happen. Like it's gonna be like a total like metal wall, like figuratively between us, you know. Like Donald Trump will appear and build a wall, you know, between us,
and make us pay for it.
Exactly. Oh, with Godzilla action figures. So what'd you buy? Did you buy anything cool?
Let's see. So I bought at the museum. I bought a figure of my favorite dinosaur, the Therizinosaurus.
Which one's that? I've never.
The long neck with the really long Freddy Krueger claws.
But it's a herbivore, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I know which one that is then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you probably did it before. You just didn't know what it was called.
Let's see. I just like that dinosaur because of how weird he looks, and he kind of looks like a Frankenstein of different dinosaurs all meshed together. Let's see.
And also, people thought it was a predator for a long time because all they had were the claws, and they didn't realize until later, oh shit, this was a fucking herbivore.
Right. Let's see. I also... let's see. I also bought a copy of Frank Parr's original kaiju comic, Arrakis. I also bought a copy of Matt Frank's comic, Gamera: The Last Hope, which is an unofficial prequel to like the Heisei series.
That sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, and it's really good. It's really cool because you get to see like all these different Gameras fighting the army of Gals in Atlantis, and each Gamera is like an incarnation of a different Gamera from the different movies. And it was really nice. And talking to him and reading the little introduction at the beginning of the comic, you can really tell this was not so much like him capitalizing on a popular name, because technically what he's doing isn't really like legal per se.
Is he selling it?
Yes, he is. He was.
Oh my god.
He was selling it.
Just at G-Fest. Just at G-Fest. Yeah. Okay, I think that's fine then. I really do.
Although I would say, like, to be honest, I feel like he was really pushing his luck there.
Oh, without question. But if you're gonna do that, If you're gonna do that, do it at the Godzilla fan convention, because that's when everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, all right, we see what you're doing there. Fine, whatever."
I bet he's been playing by the rules all these years, and finally he was just like, "Fuck it."
Well,
I'm
he's
making
not-
this thing I want to make.
Well, if you think about it, like all these artists who are selling unofficial fan art of these these licensed characters, they're all to some degree kind of pushing their luck. However, when it comes to fan art, most companies would generally turn a blind eye because it would take forever to try to sue every single convention artist who ever sells licensed art. But to make
a comic is different.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. So while at first I saw this, I was thinking, oh, here's this guy who's a popular artist trying to capitalize on a popular name. But then, like, talking to him and looking at the comic itself, this really feels more like a passion project. This feels like something that he wanted to do just to have. This was his way of paying tribute to Gamera, considering that nothing was done for his 15th anniversary outside of that weird short film that was never real. Well, that was kind of like a trailer to something bigger, but nothing ever came of that.
So that premiered at New York Comic Con,
right?
And that was supposed to be like, oh, we're bringing him back. It's happening.
Not really. It was just meant to like a one and done. Here he is. We're just doing this because it's his anniversary.
Well, they didn't say it. They didn't say that at the time.
Right. That's right. It was like very. What they were doing was very. It was like this was an example of poor communication on their part, Kadokawa's part, for not. They were saying like they were just saying Gamera is back, but they never exactly said how he is back. Well, so it's like, was this movie meant to be like a pitch? Was this a trailer? Is something going to happen? Is something not going to happen?
You think they would have made the goddamn thing because the internet fucking freaked out over it?
Yeah.
Well, Japan just needs to cut it out with that shit anyway. They did the same fucking thing with that Ultraman thing. That looked fucking awesome.
Right. And they gave no official announcement on anything to follow that up.
Was that you guys talking about that CGI Ultraman thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I remember that.
I should ask, like, one of us should ask, like, August Ragone, like, what the heck was that all about? Because there was, like, no public official statement on Tsuburaya's part when that came out. At least none that was ever translated in English for us Westerners.
I think it was just an anniversary thing.
Possibly, but then what was up with the date?
Yeah, they put a fucking date on it.
That was the date Ultraman premiered in 1966, wasn't it? July 7th.
Huh. All right, then. Kind of makes sense, then.
I still don't like it.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Jesus, Logan is freaking out there. Anyway, he's not coming in here. Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck Wolverine.
Because the date was 7/7, and I didn't know that was the air date for the original Ultraman. So I thought,
I'm fact checking.
Because you're not a madman who knows every date.
I was like, is that an Ultra 7 reference all of a sudden? Like, why is that in there? 7/7.
July 17. Never mind.
Yeah, but anyways, I also got a couple prints that I've been wanting to get for the last couple of years from Matt Frank, which is like that one of Legendary Godzilla versus Shin Gojira, Evangelion versus Godzilla, Godzilla versus Dragon Zord. I bought a print of Jeff Zornow's original character, Dimension Fighter X, just to show my support for like original content out there. Because I know he's been kind of wanting to do stuff with his original character. If you guys remember, 2 years ago, I was moderating that panel on original Japanese monster-inspired comics and artwork.
Right. And
he talked about Dimension Fighter X being that one comic he used to work on back when he first started as an artist in New York, but hasn't done any. He's been wanting to do like a reboot of that, and 2 years later, he still hasn't done anything outside of just deciding to say, fuck it, I'm going to make a five or six copies of this artwork I made. So I bought it just to show my support. I also bought Keith Foster's second volume of Kadoja, at least the first three issues of Kadoja Volume 2. And he was kind enough to give me a poster of Kadoja, mainly as like a thank you of his just covering his comic. Let's see. I bought like a booster pack of the Kaiju Assault card game, along with the booster packs of Chris's monsters and Matt Denion's monsters. Let's see. And I believe that's about it in terms of what I bought at this year's G-Fest. I wanted to get an Evangelion figure, but unfortunately they didn't have any when I went to the dealer's room.
So you didn't buy us any presents then?
No.
Wow.
Fucking-
All right. You just fucking... Dylan's like a fucking greedy fucking child over here fucking being like, did you buy me Did you buy me shit? No.
I just thought, maybe the friend that actually did go to G-Fest might, think about, the little people.
Oh my god, this just got so fucking awkward out of nowhere. My god. This...
Well, don't you remember, Bill? Last year he came to New York bearing gifts.
We were there, like, where we could receive them. He doesn't know when he's gonna fucking see us again, like...
I'm just kidding, Andres. You sent me that Goku figure a few months back. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the one you gave me right now, very satisfied.
I gave you presents for both G-Fest and Christmas, motherfucker. I was both the ambassador of Japan and fucking Santa Claus.
I just feel lucky enough to have a fucking place to keep all this shit. Like that's Anyway, so I didn't mean to bust anybody's balls, but that was fucking funny that you just got so like fucking belligerent out of nowhere. Oh. All right. So you didn't buy any cool figures though. That's unfortunate. That's always the thing where it's like
Mm-hmm.
Last year I got that Gamma and I was like, "Oh, I feel like I did a good thing for myself."
I did a service.
I feel like Bill won today. I feel like that's like like that doesn't happen a lot, like for me to feel that way, like for me to like truly in my heart like feel I feel like something good was done today for me. But I really did. So I missed that. I'm definitely going to try and go next year so I can feel that way again.
Okay.
That's how I felt when I got that Ultra 7 figure finally last year. That was
because it's the satisfaction of having the money put aside to just fucking walk up to a man and go, I'm willing to spend $95 on that action figure.
Yeah.
Like the satisfaction of that is unequaled even by sex. Like that's it's amazing.
But the nicest thing by far, like a few years ago when we went to G-Fest, I saw this Daimajin figure that I wanted, and I didn't fucking get it, and then I regretted that for fucking years. And then out of the blue, Jacob Baker fucking sent me one. I was like, you fucking wonderful man.
And it looks like the one you got is better than what we saw.
I think, well, it's more of the showpiece one. The other one is the kind that you could, like, play with more, you know what I mean? Like, this is kind of...
Oh, so this is the one. Yeah, this is the one that you want because you're not gonna fucking like go. All right, I'm gonna smash it around with Gigan and
you're swinging in the air,
fucking laying on his belly in front of the TV while his mom is fucking watching Jeopardy.
No, he's gonna be the kid from Final Wars. Says, "Cool, real Anguillus, mommy."
Fucking throws Gamma in the fire.
I imagine it's like the difference between like an SH Monster Arts and a Nika, if that makes any sense. Like the other one looked like it was more like hard plastic and shit that's like really durable. This, it's kind of fragile, but it's also like super nice. Like,
so it might be Rebel Tech.
It's Rebel Tech. It's definitely Rebel Tech.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Because the Rebel Techs are very hollow inside.
Yeah. Like when I pulled it out of the box,
just like all of us.
Immediately when I pulled it out of the box, I was like, "This is not something to be toyed around with lightly."
No, certainly not.
Yeah.
If the Daimajin films have taught me anything.
Yeah, you just fucking drop them in some water, and then all of a sudden you're being boiled alive. It's a fun time to be a man in the Daimajin universe. So Andres,
Cinematic universe.
So to be real though, I'm fucking crushed that we couldn't make it, but I'm glad you had a good time, and I'm glad that we were able to fucking talk about it and have a good time talking about it on this podcast. So I kind of feel like I got to enjoy it a little bit in this hour we've spent talking about it, just to make things mushy and gay again. So, it's how we'd like to keep it around G-Fest time. It's a wonderful time. All right. So, any other G-Fest things to say?
Oh yeah, this can be a good segue into the first bit of news because apparently something happened in the Shinji Higuchi panel and none of us.
Did you meet him?
No, well, I did see him. I did see him pass by in the lobby. He saw me. I saw him. We just acknowledged each other's presence there.
He tried to murder you, and then you were like, "Oh, I'm not really into that sort of thing." And he was like, "Oh, okay," and then he walked away.
And like it's funny,
it was a weird solicitation for murder.
He was walking behind, what was it, Andrew and Brayton, and so as soon as he was done walking by, I was like, "Hey guys, do you know that was Shinji Iguchi?" They were like, "What? Where?"
That sounds like us with Katsura.
Yeah.
I can't believe that happened.
Yeah. That was
yeah,
funny.
that's.
She had a Mechagodzilla in her hands.
She was Japanese. She was old. She was well dressed.
There was a picture of her on the back of my program. I was looking at it.
We should have put two. We should have put two. But realistically, like, what would we have said? Like, we're like, "Oh shit, you're Japanese and old." Like, my God, like, what's that like?
And this was before like I learned Japanese. So nowadays I would have said like "Anata no eiga, watashi o daisuki desu."
And I would have been like, what he said.
Actually, I fucked that up. I should have reversed the two subjects. But anyways,
she fucking kicks you in the dick, just like, oh, "How dare you, young man."
Let's see. But yeah, to move ahead, in the Shinji Higuchi panel, apparently he revealed that Toho made an agreement with Warner Brothers in that they are not allowed to create another live-action Godzilla movie until 2020, which happens to be the year that Godzilla versus King Kong versus Godzilla versus Kong is scheduled to be released. So my belief is that now that Warner Brothers and Legendary is getting their kicking their MonsterVerse into high gear, maybe now they're like, okay, Japan, you had your fun making a Godzilla movie in the time between Godzilla 1 and Godzilla 2. So now that we're being serious about this monster movie series business, now we're gonna have to ask you not to make any more Godzilla movies in order to not confuse people between your movies and our movies.
Look, you had your fun with your character that's totally yours, but now we're laying down the law.
Right.
That's weird because Toho officially said that their contract with Legendary places no restrictions between them making domestic productions, and now they're saying something different?
I guess so. Again, this is all secondhand information because I wasn't there at the panel. And my interpretation, that is simply my interpretation as to why they're not allowed to make any more monster movie. That's simply an educated guess.
What if they're not allowed to release it outside of Japan, and they're like, well, then what's the point?
Maybe. Oh yeah, also, this could be also another reason. This could also be the reason why they're making this anime movie that's being released later this year, and why they're planning on making it a trilogy of movies, the last time I heard.
Well, wasn't the idea... So it's just live action then. Okay, that's an important quality. So then you know what? I'm fine. Like, we don't need them to do any more. Like, I really liked what they did with Shin. Like, that was a nice, like fucking breath of fresh air, from everything that's been done. That's been very consistently Godzilla in America. So, you know, I'm like, maybe it's fine that we can get them experimenting more with the character in animation while America's got the character in live action. Like, maybe variety there makes more sense.
Maybe that means we won't get a Shin 2, because I don't want a Shin 2.
I don't ever think that was in the cards. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't either, but there are a lot of people that are like, we want a Shin 2, and I'm like, no, you're a fucking idiot. Like,
well, I was talking to a coworker of mine today who is a Godzilla fan as well, and he was like, do you think that they were setting up a sequel with that ending? And I'm like, no, I think Hideki Anno wanted people like you and I to have this conversation. That's what I think that ending was for.
Has he ever watched Evangelion? Because if
I don't remember. I think I had asked him that at one point. I don't remember his answer. At work, I mentioned it earlier. Sometimes I fall asleep with my eyes open while I'm talking, you know, so...
Because if he had, he would realize that Hideki Anno is a crazy person, and he likes to leave things with a little "huh" at the end.
Yeah, exactly. But that's exactly right, so...
Most people like to have their audience leave the theater going, "Whoa!" He likes to have people leave the audience going, "Huh? What?"
Exactly. And that's why I love him.
Okay, so I guess unless there's anything else to say, is it okay to move on to the next news subject?
Sure.
Okay, so we got moving on to the Comic-Con news, we got our first reveal, or at least our first teaser of Mothra for the upcoming Godzilla King of the Monsters sequel.
I'm so excited for this movie. It's not even funny. It sounds, everything I hear about it just makes me go, oh my god, this is everything I wanted from 2014 that it didn't do. So all of the little, I guess we could also talk about, we could use this to also talk about all the little snippets we learned from Kong Skull Island, like where everybody is at the start of this movie. Except Godzilla. We don't know where Godzilla is after 2014. I assume he just went back down to wherever the fuck he was at the start, though.
Yeah.
It would be a good reference if they explained that he's in that trench that he always used to go to, like in the Heisei series, you know? What's that trench called?
I know what you're talking about.
Like the deepest trench in the Pacific or something.
You know what, though? There is a trench in 2014 that they mention. That the Nautilus goes into, where he's hanging out. So I assume you're right. He probably goes back there. I just want to know what exactly the motivator will be for him to return to the surface, you know? Because this isn't a version of Godzilla where it's like, okay, he's back and he's at large, you know? Like, it's more like, well, there's a reason for him to be around, you know?
And you know what's funny is, like, I'm looking at the image right now, at the teaser image right now, and I just noticed that on the sides of Mothra are two larvas.
Yeah.
And on top of Mothra is the egg.
I was getting to that because it's just, everything is perfect, man. They've got, and if you look at the Mothra larva designs, they are a perfect mix of like a real caterpillar, but the silhouette is the original design. But all of the details are a realistic caterpillar, you know what I mean? So the eyes are where they're supposed to be, all of the mandibles are where they're supposed to be, but like the actual texture is a real cat. It's perfect. And then the actual Mothra is the same way. It's like all the colors and segments are in the right spots. It's just the shape.
It has the eye mark on the big wings.
Yeah. It's. I'm just interested to see what the head's gonna look like, because that's the thing where I'm like, you can really fuck that up. Because if you don't make it somewhat like the original while still making it somewhat realistic, you're really gonna miss the mark. I'm really interested to see what Rodan is going to look like, because
me too. Because the original Rodan and the future and the following incarnations of Rodan always limited themselves to having a very humanoid body type based on the limitations of whatever decade special effects they were made in. I'm really curious to know if they're going to continue with a very humanoid body for Rodan, or are they going to go for the more like anatomically correct pterosaur.
The cave painting that we saw in the after credits scene from Kong Skull Island gave me the impression that we're going for a more accurate pterosaur design.
I hope they do it well, because if they're going to go that route, the original Rodan is the most pterosaur-esque of all of them. Like maybe maybe not even more so than the Heisei version.
The Heisei, yes, but the body posture was all wrong in terms of like in terms of pterosaur. Anatomy.
Which one?
The Heisei one. It had.
They're all wrong, aren't they? They're all wrong in that sense. Yeah, they're all wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying in sense of the head, because the head is the thing that is a little unrealistic that they seem to have kept in the design, like the short beak. I mean, that's what I want.
Oh, true.
That's Rodan to me. Like, I want the short beak. I want the horns on the top. And then the rest of it can be what the fuck ever. Although I do kind of want the spines on the bottom. He's got those little spikes on his stomach. I want those.
Yeah. And down his back, I believe.
Yeah, well, whatever. Those are whatever. He's also got a more... Pterosaurs do have more pronounced tails depending on the species, so I'd like to see more of a tail on him as well.
Usually, like, the big pterosaurs don't have small tails. The small pterosaurs have the long tails with the rudder at the tip.
Yeah, it's usually the ones that, like, look less bird-like. Like, they don't really have, like, beaks. They have more, like, they still have the teeth and shit. You know the ones I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Those are usually the ones that you see depicted with the fucking tail and the fucking cleft at the end, like fucking Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
The real wild card here is fucking Ghidorah. Like...
Yeah. We do know that it's going to have 2 tails, 3 heads, and 2 wings, according to that cave painting.
Well, the silhouette... I mean, it's Ghidorah. If anything, to me, it looks like Cretaceous Ghidorah from Rebirth of Mothra 3 in terms of the shape of the head. Because it's got that, like, those stocky horns and the small head and the small snout. But it's a fucking cave painting. However, Godzilla, but we can compare it to Godzilla though, and that's pretty accurate. So
yeah, the cave painting, yes, the proportion-wise, it's all there.
Have we heard anything yet from the director, from Michael
Dougherty?
Yeah, that guy.
What about?
Have we heard anything from him yet? Just anything in general. I feel like at this point in the lead up to 2014, we had already sort of been, introduced to Gareth Edwards, and he was like doing interviews and being like, "Oh, it's going to be the greatest movie ever made," and like Adam fucking Wingard, who doesn't come out until 2020, is like all over Twitter and shit. I just want to know, have we heard anything?
Michael Dougherty's been all over Twitter too. They're also filming that movie right now, so he's a little busy.
Oh yeah, They are.
He's the only wild card at this point. Like, I'm sold on Wingard just from what I've seen of the guy, like on his personal Twitter and shit. I don't know anything about this Doherty guy. I haven't seen any of his shit, and I haven't.
He's been all over Twitter too, fucking interacting with fans, fucking showing his fucking support of the franchise. Not as much, but certainly there. But in terms of like his direction and stuff, I don't know. He's certainly been a little more mysterious. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's like, shut the fuck up and make the movie, like maybe
he might not be good at that sort of thing. We can't all be a Jordan Vaught Roberts, and
Yeah, he's good at that fucking too. I feel like he kind of brought Gareth Edwards out of his shell, like when they were fucking chilling at Skull Island or whatever, like in the water. Like, I'm like, oh, look at them, like being all buddy. That's adorable.
Like they're best friends now. It's weird.
After they've both made their movies. Do you think that Edwards is going to come back?
No.
I don't think so either. I'd like him to stay on as a producer, though. He did make the first one.
Does he have the money to be a producer?
Well, maybe a consultant producer.
He last I heard, he wanted to go back to doing smaller movies. I think he made the leap to big pictures too soon, and it's a shame because he's got like a great visual style. So it's kind of a shame to see him wasting his time on smaller movies. But whatever.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate that Rogue One kind of turned into a big like show in terms of its production, and there were rumors
it's like
there were rumors that the movie got taken that the movie got taken away from him. So I mean, who knows how true that is, but it sounds like it happened, like, and the movie I saw, that makes a lot of sense.
Gave it to Ron Howard.
It seems to be happening every time they make one of these in between Star Wars movies,
Yeah.
They
or even what happened with
they fucking panic at the last minute and fucking decide to pull out and come somewhere else,
It shouldn't be this big of a problem because it's a great idea. Just let the directors do their shit. It's called a spin-off for a reason. It doesn't have to feel like the main movies.
Although if they were making them sound like Ace Ventura, maybe it was a good thing. We talked about this last time, though.
Yeah, that was probably a bad choice. I guess there's an argument for it. It's like with Rogue One, where in that first trailer we had that awesome music from Desplat, and then when the actual movie came out, we had like generic, trying to be Star Wars Michael Giacchino
score.
Oh yeah, the bootleg Star Wars theme.
The score for Rogue One is pretty. It's
I'm like, what am I watching? Masters of the Universe right now? Like, come on, man. Like,
which sucks because Michael Giacchino is an awesome composer. Both Spider-Man: Homecoming was a really good score, and War for the Planet of the Apes was a really good score. So
he did those.
Really?
He did both of them.
The score for Spider-Man: Homecoming was kind of generic.
The theme was fucking awesome.
You mean the one at the very beginning during the Marvel logos?
Yeah, but I thought it came back at one point in the movie.
The Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, but
that one.
Unfortunately, the only music I remember from War was the stuff that they recycled from Dawn.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. So there you go. I think he's good. He just needs the right project. He is a little. He can be very generic though. Jurassic World had a very generic score.
And that's like Rogue One. The best parts of that score were when they were like, John Williams music, and it was just like 2 seconds of the movie when Darth Vader was killing people. But I was like, yes.
That is still the best scene in that movie, kind of by a long shot.
God, I came so hard.
Not even originally in it. What were they thinking? Who made that movie? Oh, wait.
If I had made that movie, that scene would have been like the first one.
Excuse me. I made that movie. It's the greatest movie ever made. Right before.
I used to think that Godzilla was the greatest movie ever made. I used to think that Godzilla was the greatest movie ever made, but then I made Rogue One, and I got to say, really outdid myself. You know, it was just, oh, what a masterpiece.
So now the order goes Rogue One, Godzilla, then
Monsters.
Yeah, I made that movie as well, I guess. And
then
realistically, Monsters is realistic. Kong Skull Island.
because my friend made that one, and
because he took me on vacation, he paid for it. He gave me a blowjob. It was awesome.
And then maybe Citizen Kane. I'm not sure.
I don't particularly like Orson Welles. He was kind of a dick, but you know what? It's a good movie. I like that movie a lot. Well,
Citizen Kane, actually, worst movie ever made. No.
Well, we really appreciate Gareth Edwards coming on for that little interlude there. But
Why don't we carry on? Yeah.
Wait! Before we move on,
yeah,
is it me or does Brain look a little bit like Garrett Edwards?
No, not at all.
No.
What are you fucking...
Am I the only one that's
David, I am the one in this group that does drugs, okay? So let me fucking...
Bill says that loud and proud.
Let me fucking do...
Over the course of like 2 years, he's given less and less of a fuck when it comes to that.
But it's not even that. It's just that if anybody's gonna say any dumb, outrageous shit like that, let it be me, because I can fucking explain it away with that. But you, it comes down to psychosis at that point, and then we have to start asking some serious questions.
Hostess?
What did he say looked like Gareth Edwards? What?
Brayton
Connor. In the G-Fest pictures, doesn't he look like Garrett Edwards?
I mean...
Dylan,
maybe
not
the hair?
What? His hair looks nothing like Gareth Edwards' hair.
They've both got generic white guy shock of brown hair.
They are both generic white guys. That's the similarity.
Except one of them dresses really nice.
David, I'm gonna buy your weed from now on, okay? Like that's I want you to be safe. All right.
Okay, moving on.
Anders, answer me this one thing, and then we can move on.
Okay.
Is Patrick really that skinny?
Yes.
Hey, yes.
He's not so much skinny. He's just very lean.
Didn't you watch his movie, A Man Runs from Toy Dinosaur? He was in it.
I think the word is more lithe than anything else. He's very lithe.
I don't remember the title of that movie. I'm sorry.
Morton Venator.
Yeah, there you go.
It was a great. Well, no wonder I don't remember. It was a great homage to Rape Factory.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah.
Now we can move on.
Yes.
Anyways, so Shout Factory has recently announced their latest Sentai DVD release for America.
Yes, I'm stoked about this shit.
Which is Seiju Sentai Gingaman, which was released in Japan in 1998 and will be released is set for an early 2018 release after Denji Sentai Mega Ranger will be released this year on October 31st.
Oh, wait, so Mega Ranger's not even out and they're already announcing the next Sentai?
Yep.
Dude,
why can't they do that with Ultraman?
These must be very successful because they've been cranking them out. Like, I was really hoping that Jew Ranger would go over well and we'd get more of these. And, I mean, it's been a dream come true on that front.
Yeah.
And as somebody whose, like, earliest Power Rangers memories consist of a VHS I had of Lost Galaxy episodes, Gingaman gets me really excited because every time I see an image from that, I'm like, I recognize those costumes. And
they recognize that Charlie Brown zigzag on their shirts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, now we're going to be getting... Yeah?
Is Magna Defender an American-only character, or is there some sort of Japanese equivalent?
Oh, no, he's definitely a Japanese character.
God, I can't wait to find out what he is. What the fuck is that, man?
I do know that, like, in the American version, he lost his son, but in the Japanese version, that was his little brother.
Oh, I see.
And instead of being murdered, he was taken by a drug cartel.
Now, one interesting thing is
and used as a mule. Oh God.
One interesting thing is that Gingaman is actually nature themed in Saban's long history of taking Sentai that have nothing to do with space and putting them in space anyway.
I wish they would do a drug cartel themed one. That would probably get their ratings up a lot more. Should they do like a Breaking Bad Power Rangers style thing where it's like...
I don't know if that worked for Archer, but I'm sure it could work for Power Rangers.
Drug cartel theme?
They did an entire season of Archer where they were running a drug cartel because they weren't spies anymore.
Aren't they like fucking detectives now?
Yeah, in the last season that I just watched them whenever they come on Netflix. I don't actually keep up with the show. So last I checked, although I think I saw some promo image that the season that they were doing now, unless it's over already, was like all noir themed.
Yeah, it was like they were 1940s detectives, and I'm like, wasn't the show like set in the present day? I like...
No, they're always ambiguous when it comes to the present day. Like there was one point in the series where one person asks Archer, is like, Archer, do you even know what year this is? That's a good question.
He's a great character. Like I think I like him as a character more than I do the show, because every time I watch the show, I'm like, I love it, but I don't know if I could watch it on a regular basis. But him, he's fucking spot on parody of Bond and all these big, huge, super spies. Did you guys see the crossover with Kingsman?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God, it's brilliant. Oh, let's have a gentlemanly drinking. Oh, what? It just fucking passes out.
H. John Benjamin is like the best voice actor working in adult cartoons, and has been since Home Movies. I don't know if anybody remembers Home Movies.
I remember that.
I like that show. Anyway, that's like old school Adult Swim days, like when they still use swimming in the promo images.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, and by the way, the Japanese name for the Magna Defender is Black Knight.
Wow,
Ooh,
that's a way more generic name.
Yeah. None shall pass.
So you know what, although to be fair, somebody could always bust out, hey, Magna Defender, what the fuck is a Magna, and why are you defending it?
Hey. Question that man.
All right,
that man
Black Knight.
Japanese-American treasure.
Japanese-American treasure. I thought that Akira Takarada was the only Japanese-American treasure.
You were wrong.
And then when Black Knight transforms into his giant Ultraman-like form, his new name is Bull Black.
That's an even worse name.
That's the best part, is that he doesn't just drive his Zord. He fuses with his Zord.
Yeah.
The Zord becomes his armor.
Yep.
It's like when the Rangers grew at the end of Power Rangers Zeo. It was very weird. It was like they all grew.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys remember that when they grew giant? It was fucked up.
Yeah, it is like that, but 10 times better.
Yeah, because it didn't look like it wasn't like this weird effect of them all running around on the same soundstage they usually run around on, but it was filmed at a slightly different angle and at a slightly different speed.
It was kind of like what happened when in the Jew 2 footage, where it was like that one lobster monster had like copies of the Rangers, and you would see those copy Rangers grow tall and end up fighting the Megazord.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like you remember when Boo Rai was evil, but he didn't have Dragon Caesar yet, and so he
grew tall.
Giant.
Yeah.
Make my Boo Rai grow.
He had that demonic sword that he ditched after he got the. Well, no, I think he actually ditched that after he stopped being evil, and then he got the Gyusoken.
Yeah, didn't the fucking murderous like child ghost give him the flute? Like, hey, this is for not being a dick.
Are you referring to Clotho, the spirit of life? Because when you say murderous child spirit, I think you're talking about fucking Bandora's son there for a second. I'm like, no, that was not even remotely that part of the series. But yeah, I think you're talking about Clotho.
Yeah.
Who turned out to be Kate Blanchett from Lord of the Rings or some shit. I don't know. But
what? Kate Blanchett made a cameo in Jew Ranger.
No, it reminded me of that character from
What the fuck am I doing here? What is this?
Is that Kate Blanchett? Did Kate Blanchett play Galadriel? She's one of those blonde British women. They all kind of morph together. Anyway.
Anyways, Gingaman, coming soon to DVD in America.
Animals.
Yes, animals. No space this time.
Animals,
No.
not in space, so what's the point? Ask America.
No, no random space pirates near the end, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Okay, so anyways, two other pieces of information came from Nickelodeon, where we had our first sneak peek at the new Rocko's Modern Life and Hey Arnold Jungle movie that is currently in production and I guess slated for next year.
They're putting Arnold in the jungle? The urban jungle, or like
No, the jungle.
I see. Wait, so it's like the wild thornberries?
Yes, because this was something that I think his name was Butch Hartman. No, that's Fairly Odd Parents. I'm an idiot. Whoever it is, like the creator of Hey Arnold, always wanted to make a continuation of a second movie of Hey Arnold, to where where Arnold.
That's his name.
Hey. Yeah, because he has no last name, if you remember.
I don't.
He would.
That's right.
There was always a plan for Arnold to go into the jungle and search for his missing parents, which was hinted at in the final episode of the series, where he finds a map that would potentially show like somewhere in Latin America where his parents, who were like explorers, disappeared into. So in the little preview, they showed Arnold and all his friends were kind of having some sort of weird like celebration or birthday party for him, and they had like a clip show of it was a literal clip show. It was just like a montage of all new animation of him reintroducing both Arnold, who he is, and how much he's done for the community, and show all these cameos of all these characters from the entire series. As a little like that was their preview. Meanwhile, for the Rocko's Modern Life continuation / reboot, it portrays Rocko and his two friends in the modern day 21st century. They realize that they're no longer in the 90s, and they're just making fun of all the current pop culture stuff that's going on in today's society. And it was
so are the
showing
characters
Rocko.
Somehow removed from the 90s and put into now?
Yes.
That's
yes.
awesome. Oh my god, I'm definitely going to watch that. Oh my god, that's brilliant.
I'm going to look for that right now.
The promo was great. I didn't watch the Hey Arnold one. Well, I should, because I watched more Hey Arnold as a child than I did Rocko's Modern Life. But I did see the Rocko one, and it's friggin' great. Like it like I loved the joke about the phones. Like one character goes,
like, well, all the buttons.
One character goes into the store and buys the 8, and then the other character's like, I just got the 9, and then the guy comes out and puts 10 up on the sign, and then a stampede of people run into the store and run over Rocko. Like it's great it's great commentary and shit.
Or like the movie theater. What's that?
I, however, was a little disappointed that we got sneak peeks of Hey Arnold and Rocko's Modern Life, but I still haven't seen anything from this Invader Zim thing that I guess is still happening.
Oh yeah, that is still happening. I don't know, maybe they couldn't get anything together. They couldn't get anything ready for Comic-Con. But another thing I like from the preview, which I just shared on Skype right now for you, Bill, they do a parody of like the dark and gritty reboots of superheroes. And so I remember there was always this comic book hero that Rocko was a fan of. So you see this like Dark Knight version of him in the movie theater, and they're all wearing 3D glasses. And so whenever the hero is punching someone, he's punching Rocko directly.
That's awesome.
Or like Rocko, I forgot that he worked at a comic book store, and so he knows that the comic book shop is closed, and instead there's like this Redbox booth that just digitally prints out comics for you.
That's amazing.
And he's like, what happened? Where's my store? What happened to my job? Where are the comics?
Oh my god, that's amazing. I forgot that he worked at a comic book store. I haven't watched Rocko's Modern Life since I was like fucking 5.
Right.
Right.
I'm sure it's like one of those series that's going to be like a lot smarter than you'd remember.
Oh man, I loved it though. I mean, I loved everything Nickelodeon played in those years. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
They need to make a reunion special for the Angry Beavers.
Yes.
Oh my god, the Angry Beavers. I remember that too.
I loved the Angry Beavers, especially the little brown one, who was really the only angry one. I don't know why the yellow one got slapped with that label. He was a very chill guy. But
he was a level-headed dude. What about fucking Cow and Chicken? When are they bringing Cow and Chicken back?
That's Cartoon Network.
Oh, right, my bad.
That was like Cartoon Network's attempt at copying Ren and Stimpy, I think.
Yeah. Nickelodeon is the one dropping all the nostalgia bombs right now, and I hope Cartoon Network follows suit and gets their fucking act together and stops.
Like right now, Cartoon Network is like trying to do this like weird Netflix thing for like, I think they're trying to make an app, or they're trying to take Boomerang and turn it into like Netflix for all of their older shows.
Yeah, I saw that.
And you can download a Boomerang app and you can watch fucking like Looney Tunes or whatever all you want, but it's like a subscription.
Like, excuse me, I'll watch Kiss Cartoon, thank you. Huh?
Free, thank you very much.
Yeah, and I just also shared a link to the Hey Arnold Jungle Movie sneak peek.
I'll watch them both later, but I'm intrigued.
Was there already a Hey Arnold movie back in the day?
Yeah, there was a Hey Arnold movie, and I think the creator
didn't it come out in theaters? No,
it did come out. It was during this heyday
where
like it was during this time where everybody was every like popular TV show was getting a movie, the movie released in theaters.
I remember the
Rugrats
had like 3. Because there was the two Rugrats movies, the one where they were in the woods, and then there was the one in Paris which had like a Mechagodzilla in it, which was insane. That was my favorite thing ever. And then you had the Wild Thornberries
crossover. They
had
the Wild
Thornberries movie
and a crossover.
Then they crossed them over, and that was with the Smell-O-Vision.
Smell-O-Vision, yes, I remember.
That movie is fucking terrible, by the way. I remember when I was a kid seeing that crossover movie in theaters going, this is fucking trash. Like, I love both of these shows individually, but this is garbage. This is as bad as it smells.
Do you remember there was a Teacher's Pet movie?
Yeah, I do.
I never even watched Teacher's Pet because I thought the art style looked hideous. And I was like, why is this a movie?
I remember Leonard Maltin reviewing it because he used to do that show Indie Spotlight or whatever on Reel's channel, and
who do you think started that trend? Was it Doug's first movie?
No. I'm pretty sure. Actually, there was this on Rebel Taxi's channel. He's an animation centric YouTube channel. He made a video all about this topic, and he mentioned that Rugrats was the first and most successful one to do it.
That first Rugrats movie was pretty good.
I remember at the same time there was
when I was a child.
And at the same time, there was this trend, and this actually started in the 90s with the Disney shit. There was also this trend of, like, any children's movie that was popular would then get adapted into a television show.
Yeah, that was Disney's thing. Anything that even, like, didn't, like, the concept didn't make sense as a show. Like Aladdin. Like, what do you do with Aladdin as a TV series?
It wasn't even just
really, what was weird is Tailspin. Tailspin was supposed to be like an adaptation of the Jungle Book, but it had nothing to do with Jungle Book.
No, that's cooler to me though. Than like
it was Baloo as a pilot.
That's a little bit like DuckTales, I guess. Except it makes less sense than DuckTales does. But
it wasn't just Disney either. Though Nickelodeon was doing this shit too. I mean, look at Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius.
No, but that was a test. That was like we're gonna pitch this and then as a movie, and then we'll do a series if it's successful.
Really,
the Jimmy Neutron series is so much better than the movie. Yeah,
really. But yeah, I generally remember thoroughly enjoying Jimmy Neutron as a kid.
Jimmy Neutron was a good so when they did the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour back in the day, when my childhood got rocked, I would always root for Jimmy. Like I would always like,
Timmy was a little piece of shit.
Well, because Timmy's younger, number one, and then also Timmy
fucking pink cat.
Yeah, well, also, because it's like Jimmy is a boy genius. Like he makes all his own shit. Like fucking Timmy has like these fucking gods who are enslaved to him, who he fucking orders around. But Cindy is fucking Cindy, that fucking bitch.
Dexter's Laboratory was a similar thing, wasn't it?
I love how your central argument for why you prefer Jimmy Neutron to Timmy Turner is the same argument I have for why I prefer Batman to Superman.
Yeah, but at least Superman isn't like a 10-year-old child ordering around enslaved gods. Like that's what gets me about Timmy Turner.
Oh, Superman was a 10-year-old child who was a god, and then he grew up into a
yeah, but at least that was his own power. Like Timmy Turner is nothing without two slaves. Like that's my whole point. Masquerading as his odd parents or whatever.
Remember the Fairly Odd Parents movie, the one with the muffin?
Yeah, there were a few.
Yeah, I remember
there was
that.
Channel Surfers.
Oh, that was
I feel
favorite.
like we talk about Channel Surfers every fucking episode of this show. I swear to God, we brought it up last episode.
Bill, you say that.
Oh, it was called Channel.
It was
called Channel Chasers.
Anytime there's something that gets brought up on one of these podcasts more than once, Bill's like, "We talk about this every time."
Because
calm down.
I don't like repeating myself.
Okay,
Absolutely not true. Absolutely not true.
Moving on from Nickelodeon nostalgia, let's bring some tokusatsu back in. We have the latest Kamen Rider revealed, which will be the one after Kamen Rider X-Aid finishes. And we have ourselves Kamen Rider Build. And with Kamen Rider Build, he's got kind of a similar gimmick to Kamen Rider W or Kamen Rider Double, however you pronounce it, where he's got like an asymmetrical design. And he's got like swappable powers, so it's like his left side is like a one color with one power, his right side has another color with another power. And let's see, trying to look for the images so I can send them to you. It's kind of crazy, and they've already it's easily definitely another example of these Kamen Riders being made to strictly sell like some sort of gimmick or toy. Let's see here.
More like Kakaider, at least design-wise. than a Kamen Rider. It's weird.
Yeah. Okay, so I found the first promo image. I'm going to send it to you guys on Facebook right now. Let's see. Got it. And here you go. This is the big full reveal of Kamen Rider Build. I have no idea why he's called Build, if this is supposed to be like build as in model building or build as in like construction building. It's really... I have no idea.
He's one ugly motherfucker.
I was hoping it would be a crossover with Bob the Builder, but not the new like CG cool young Bob the Builder. I want the old school fat chubby. Yeah, can we talk about Bob the Builder for a second? Like they really fucked that up, didn't they? Like Bob the Builder was
fuck CG Chuck E. Cheese. No. No.
You go back to your room and be portrayed by traditional animation or stop motion animation.
Yeah. Chuck E. Cheese is CGI now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, what happened to my childhood, man?
Is this show gonna have that annoying announcer guy from that one show we were watching? Is he gonna pop up every now and then and go fucking Builder?
I have no idea.
Bob the Builder, yes. Sorry,
That's okay. Oh, and just some further mess with you guys. Here's the current Kamen Rider right now in his two main power-up forms, because of course you got to have transformations on top of transformations.
You got to sell toys. Although isn't Kamen Rider like the best at this whole tokusatsu thing right now?
Probably, yeah. I see him in Sentai way more than Ultraman. So in the latest image I just sent you guys, the one on the far right, that's Kamen Rider X-Aid's like basic form. The one in the middle is his like gamer level 99 form, and the one on like the left side, that's his like Super Saiyan form.
You sent this on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, well you just sent something on Skype, so you fucking bouncing.
No, I didn't.
Well, you sent the links.
Oh, sent. Yeah, I did. Yeah. So yeah, all these images I sent you on Facebook.
I'm looking.
So the first two images is Kamen Rider Build, and the last image is the current Kamen Rider right now.
So, oh shit, hang on. It fucking... It went back the wrong way. I started seeing our older conversations and memes. There we go. Alright, so the first one looks like the villain from that Dragon Ball Z movie, Fusion Reborn. Then the second one...
Yeah, it does kind of look like Janemba, doesn't it?
Then the second one, he looks like Deathstroke on the far right. And then the last one is the current Kamen Rider.
Are you talking about the images, or are you talking about the last image I just sent?
Oh, well, you said the first image was the new one.
No. I said in the last image, the figure on the far right is the current Kamen Rider in his base form.
Oh, that's a terrible design.
The one with the fucking emo hair. Yeah.
And all that pink, green, and black.
That's a hard... I mean, Andreas, you agree, right? That's a terrible thing.
I don't care how good Kamen Rider X-Aid is as a show. I refuse to watch this show because all of its Kamen Riders look fucking ugly as sin.
They don't look like Kamen Riders. They look like...
No, they don't.
Anime characters, and it looks like anime Star-Lord.
Bill, is that the same hairdo you had when you were emo, Bill, back in the...
I would have to say that if you were going to have a point of comparison, that would probably be the best animated version of Electro Bill that I could ever come up with.
All right, so I found an image featuring all the Kamen Riders, and it's like these designs are so convoluted, I can't tell who's a good guy or who's a bad guy. So I'm going to send you guys a link to all the Kamen Riders. Are
you criticizing it for moral ambiguity?
Okay, who? What? This CG?
No, these are costumes, actual costumes.
Why do they look CG? It looks like I'm watching Cubics. You remember Cubics?
Yeah, I remember Cubics. That was bullshit back in the day. Fucking playing before Yu-Gi-Oh in the morning. Fuck you.
Why didn't Cubics get a movie?
Because it played before Yu-Gi-Oh and I hate it. Fuck Cubics.
Yu-Gi-Oh got a movie.
Here's another image.
Yu-Gi-Oh
of
got like
Kamen Rider
3
X8.
movies. Yu-Gi-Oh got like 3 movies, son.
I only remember one, the one that matters.
I agree. That's the one I saw that in fucking theaters. Oh no, I didn't see that in theaters, but I got it on VHS and I watched it a lot. I heard the fucking Heart of the Cards song.
So the last 3 images I just sent you guys are all related to Kamen Rider X8, and the first image I sent you where you see the blue and red character, that's the newest Kamen Rider that's after X8.
Well, it's an improvement. I'll give it that.
It looks like Jamemba, though.
Are you referring to the black and blue figure?
No, I'm not sure. There's a lot.
There's
a lot of pictures down here of stuff I don't know about.
They're all an improvement over Kamen Rider Kool-Aid.
He does look like a '90s super soaker that grew arms and legs and decided to be a Japanese superhero.
I don't think any of them are better than Ghostbusters 2, though.
But what about the top one? The first image I sent you of the red and blue guy.
Yeah, I would actually, of all the stuff I'm seeing here, that's probably my favorite because it's the most Kamen Rider-y. Like it's got the collar, it's got the collar's on there, right? It's sort of got the collar.
Yeah, he's got the collar. He's got the bug eyes.
The bug eyes are the thing because they fucked up the bug eyes on the other one. It's got like these weird anime eyes.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The other one isn't even an insect, or at least it doesn't look like one.
They dropped the insect.
Yeah, isn't that not part of the? It's not like an essential part of it anymore.
No, nowadays it's just like the bug eyes. You need at least the big eyes. Maybe occasionally the scarf.
He's got to ride something. He's got
to ride something.
What does the word common even mean?
It means mask.
Oh, so Saban was way more accurate than I would have given them credit for.
Yes.
It just sounded less cool.
Right.
Interesting.
Mask Rider. Do. Mask Rider.
That's like comparing Ghost Rider to fucking Phantom Rider.
So, if I remember correctly,
yeah,
when Masked Rider crossed over with Power Rangers, he was on a horse, wasn't he?
I think so. No. The bad guys were on horses.
Where
the Kamen Rider, Masked Rider and his friends, they just jumped off a cliff and they're like, here we are.
Yeah, because I remember there was no action in that episode. It was just like the Power Rangers and them got stuck in a cave or whatever, and they were just talking about bullshit. And then at the end, the Power Rangers fought the Masked Rider villains, and then the Masked Rider dudes were just like, "Good job, thanks," and then they fucked off. And I'm like, "This is fucking bullshit."
Would go on, and then Masked Rider would go on to have a TV show that had zero continuity with that crossover.
It's a shame that the Power Rangers episode where they cross over with an actual Japanese superhero, fucking an attempt to bring Kamen Rider to the States, is less memorable, entertaining, and overall good than the fucking time they teamed up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I don't think it's better than that. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't think it's worse than that. I just think it's it's less memorable for sure. That Ninja Turtles crossover is probably objectively worse because it's just confusingly bad.
Oh, by the way, do you guys know that indie tokusatsu series that's made in Los Angeles called Fujiyama Ichiban?
No. It sounds vaguely familiar.
I'll search for an image now. But the guy behind Fujiyama Ichiban, which is this YouTube web series, was the guy who created this. Is the guy who was the suit actor for Saban's Masked Rider and several other Saban series.
Oh,
I'd agree.
So he's got it. So he's got it in. Cool. All right. Interesting. I want to get more into Kamen Rider at some point. I really liked that first episode that I watched back with you back a few years ago. So
yeah,
I'll have to do that. But apparently you made it very clear to me at the time, this is incredibly rare, and you'll probably never get to see it again. And I'm like, thanks, Andres.
And I'm sending you guys on Facebook Fujiyama Ichiban.
You know what 70s tokusatsu show I want to watch at some point?
Spider-Man.
What?
I've seen that. Fucking Battle Fever J, because it's a Sentai series, but it's so different from any other Sentai series.
That's vaguely Marvel inspired.
Yeah.
Right?
It was originally going to be like Captain America, and you would have like other captains of different countries, which is why in Battle Fever J you still see characters each from a different country, with Miss America being the stand-in for Captain America.
Although there is a Miss America in Marvel, and I think their idea there was like, we'll sort of make it like her.
All right. Oh yeah, it looks like David's got to go now. So David, any final thoughts on Kamen Rider Build?
Well, to be honest, I really don't have much opinions on the latest Kamen Rider shows since Kamen Rider O's or Kamen Rider W, which was 10 years ago, basically.
Funny enough, it was when those shows were around, that's when I started getting into Kamen Rider in general.
The only Kamen Rider in recent years that's worth a damn, at least in my opinion, was Kamen Rider Gaim. That one actually did have a pretty solid story, pretty solid characters. Everything else that came after is just.
I keep hearing that Gaim is good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's actually part of it is written by the dude who wrote Monster Planet.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
So at least we know there's pedigree there then.
Which
and
one?
I just sent you guys a post.
Really shitty one that we saw at G-Fest the one year. You remember?
That was W.
Oh God.
And I just sent you guys a movie poster of Kamen Rider X8 along with all the other post 2010 Kamen Riders.
Oh my God, a parade of shit.
This looks like a flyer for Bill's birthday party.
Why, David?
Yeah, because having never heard of Kamen Rider before.
Why is Pac-Man back there?
He's the villain of Kamen Rider, of the Kamen Rider of this movie. Because
What?
Kamen Rider X8 is like a video game.
What
like,
the fuck is this bullshit?
The pink guy. He is a video game themed Kamen Rider. I don't see it outside of the controller on Super Nintendo controller on its chest. And I guess
Kamen Rider Kool-Aid? He's a field game?
Pac-Man got like turned evil for some reason, and the Kamen Rider X8 has to fight him.
They should have called his dad.
What about the guy right behind him, Kamen Rider Deadpool? What's his deal? What is he?
The orange and black one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that guy. I actually saw his movie because
I'm not crazy, right? That's just Deadpool, right? With a horn. Like I'm not imagining.
Kind of. If you put some white eyes on there, yeah. All right, looks like David's really got to go. So take care, David.
David did have to fuck off early.
Okay. So I guess moving on then from this insanity that is Kamen Rider, let's see.
So I had gone off the rails.
Going more into things that we like, Pacific Rim 2 or Pacific Rim Uprising had its teaser trailer during Comic-Con weekend.
No, they tried to sell us a bullshit fucking product is what happened. They
announced a line of toys made by. They had this like ridiculously expensive figure of Gypsy Danger brought to us by Soul of Chogokin, which have made these like very heavy duty die cast figures. Probably the most expensive and best sturdy, most posable figures on the market in terms of giant robot figures. They've also got.
Are they the ones that made that Big O figure that I would have to mortgage my house in order to afford?
Yes.
That thing is so badass. Oh my god.
Yes, it is.
I'm willing to rob all.
Ooh, they also made Soul of Chogokin also made a figure for both the Megazord and for the Battle Fever J robots. Let's see. And they also made like what's that?
Have they ever made a Leopardon?
Yes, they did make Leopardon. I'll look for it right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
This company. By $1 million, they would have it.
Dylan's gonna sell his fucking soul to this company.
And the rest of the new Jaeger figures will be made, I believe, by Robot Damashi or Robot Spirits, and they're the ones that are in charge of making like the posable Gundam figures. So yeah, you guys see the trailer?
I mean, it's not really a trailer, is it? It's trying
a mood piece.
No, it's an ad. It's an in-universe ad for the Jaeger initiative, which is cool. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It just doesn't tell you anything about the story. If anything, well, it tells us about the world. It tells us that Jaegers are for some reason a thing again. It doesn't seem like they're being made now to fight the kaiju, though. It seems like maybe there's some kind of other threat in the here and now that they're being used for, and then I presume the kaiju will return, and then they'll have to get their shit back into gear for real. Mm-hmm. Did you guys get that sense?
Possibly.
Not really. I was just mostly blown away. Mm-hmm.
That is the most badass thing I've ever seen in my life. Look, it comes with the little Spider-Man and the car. I forget that probably has a name, but the car.
Wait, is it a car? I thought he had a motorcycle in that.
No. When he's a motorcyclist by day, a driving spider by night.
I guess it would be too obvious if he was a motorcyclist when he was Spider-Man.
No, it would be too much like Ghost Rider.
Yeah, where it's like, Johnny Blaze did not have a secret identity. He just didn't tell people he was a demon. So he was like, it's all special effects.
To be fair, it's a hard thing to slip in a conversation, you know.
It's also like your head's on fire. It's like, oh, it's a special effect.
It's a science experiment.
We've all had to explain to our dates that we're actually demons from the nether realm. Okay, it's a tough position to be in. But
imagine somebody's like, hey, Johnny, your head's on fire. And he's like, well, you know what? We're not all perfect. We can't all be you. We can't all not have our heads on fire.
Look, lady, I don't criticize you for your obvious conditions, okay?
We all have our faults, all right? Shit.
Rosacea, all right? I don't
Rosacea, what the fuck?
Rosacea is a skin thing where, like, your face gets all pink and shit.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I hope Johnny Blaze doesn't get rosacea.
It's a Pacific Rim.
Yeah, it looks good. You were saying something about the designs on Facebook. I can definitely see. You said they look a little too generic or kind of similar to each other.
They look very uniform now, and they look like they're all kind of basing themselves. They all look like kind of like variants of Gypsy Danger.
I can totally see that.
And I guess they were already kind of going in that direction when you look at Striker Eureka, who was like the latest model from the last movie.
I think they're being built by one company now, not by different countries, and I think that's the reason why.
Okay. Yeah.
So that might be an interesting reason.
Do you think they've solved the two pilot problem?
It looks like it because you see John Boyega's character sitting dead center with no partner.
His fucking character sounds awesome, by the way.
Yeah, he does a mean Pentecost impersonation.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Because one thing that a lot of stupid people complained about in the last movie was that they found the whole drift thing, like, confusing. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if in this movie they were just like, oh, only one person has to pilot it now, because screw the universe. We're making money.
Well, I would also assume that they solved that problem. Like, they just made it in such a way where they don't have to do that anymore. So I'm fine with that. Whatever.
And it's possible that this movie takes place a significant amount of time after the first movie.
I mean, realistically, it can only be like 20, 22 years, because it's however long Boyega's character has had. Although he must have been born before the end of the last one, obviously. So
obviously, yeah.
So
I did like
20 years.
I did like the Jaeger that had the dual wield katanas. That was pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, that was cool. That was like the skinnier, like more leaner. Speedy looking red Jaeger.
Yeah.
And I do like the name of the new main Jaeger, Gypsy Avenger.
Yeah, I like that name as well. I like it. I like that design certainly.
I don't like it as much as Danger, but it's a pretty good name.
I like all of them.
I like the crown design he's got going on.
I like that they all look. I like that it looks different from the original Gypsy Danger. I like them all. The samurai one definitely stands out the most. But Andres, I would definitely have to agree with you. They definitely kind of blend together a lot more than the ones in the first one did. Yeah. But maybe that's just because we got a little glimpse at them so far. So.
Yeah, possibly. Let's see. In terms of other movie news, we have our first trailer for Ready Player One, which is the latest Spielberg movie based on the book of the same name. Did anyone catch that?
I actually didn't see. I didn't watch that, and you didn't watch the Thor Ragnarok trailer, so.
Okay, so we're even. They featured a cameo of the Iron Giant, surprisingly.
I saw that snapshot.
Yeah, and the DeLorean from Back to the Future when there's like a bunch of cars. I guess it takes place, from what I never read the book, but from what I gathered in the trailer, it takes place in like this a kind of dystopian world where everyone kind of lives depressing lives, so they live most of their lives, or the newer generation of kids live most of their lives indoors within and connect themselves into the virtual world. And I suppose because it's like a pop culture infused virtual world / Tron-ish video game world, they're able to throw in a bunch of licensed characters.
What you're saying is this movie takes place in Trump's America.
Yeah,
I guess so.
It sounds like an old man who doesn't understand how phones work.
And
just plugging themselves into the Matrix.
These kids today with their virtual worlds,
they're virtual boys.
They're virtual porn. Back then, we had to look at physical magazines.
We had to look at porn etched into trees.
Wake up, boy.
We had to masturbate physically, as opposed to having a machine do all of it for you.
Fucking Fleshlight.
Yeah.
Oh god. Steven Spielberg is against the Fleshlight. Like, let's make that clear.
I've noticed that most people have been talking about Ready Player One due to the climax of the book itself, because within the climax, spoiler alert, all the characters go to a place called, I believe it was called Planet Tokusatsu, and within Planet Tokusatsu there are a bunch of Japanese Tokusatsu characters and anime characters involved, and the final fight involves one character controlling or becoming Mechagodzilla, and the main protagonist controlling or becoming Ultraman. And so I doubt
they might be able to get away with Mechagodzilla because they're in bed with Toho, but
right.
Ultraman definitely not.
No.
Also, I don't think they would, because I don't know if enough American audiences would be familiar with Ultraman, so it would kind of lose the point.
They could make a Jet Jaguar.
Yes.
That's a sad word. Is it debatable that, like, would you debatably
I
say,
would say
Jaguar
odds are, yeah, that
Ultraman?
maybe. Only because of the video games.
Yeah.
Like, I think Jet Jaguar became a lot more famous because of those games.
There's also a large fan base for Megalon, more so than possibly any other Godzilla movie, because it has this like cult following. Like it's kind of, because I don't know if you noticed, but in my childhood, like 9 times out of 10, if you found a Godzilla VHS in a store somewhere, it was Megalon.
I got like 3 copies of. I had like 3 copies of Megalon, VHS copies of Megalon back home.
That movie was everywhere for some reason. That was like the one that just got released all the time.
Let's see. Yep, so that was the thing. Spielberg's newest movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's the one that he's made the most in his recent stuff. Like, this is the one that seems the most interesting, to be honest.
Yeah, what was his last movie? The BFG, and that was a huge bomb.
Which bombed bad. Yeah,
you'd think that would be like the perfect movie because everyone remembers reading the BFG in
I fucking
school.
Didn't.
Aw.
I read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I never heard of the big fucking guy. I never read that.
The big fuming.
They made a movie based off the BFG gun from Doom.
Andres, were you being sarcastic, or did you really read the BFG as a child? Because I had never heard of that.
No, I read it as a child.
I didn't even know it was a thing until the movie came out.
I don't remember a lot of books that I read as a child, though, to be fair. I remember when they made a movie out of Where the Wild Things Are. I had to remind myself that they existed. And I was like, oh, yeah. Like the one with the kid dressed up as like a raccoon or some shit. And like...
Spielberg recently has been like, all right, I'm going to make a movie for kids. Now I'm going to make a movie for old people. Now I'm going to make a movie for kids. Now I'm going to make a movie for old people. This seems to be him trying to go back into the middle ground.
Like, I'm going to make a movie in World War II where Tom Hanks is on a bridge of spy.
Well, that was the old people movie. He makes movies fucking quick now, though, don't he?
Although, hasn't he been working on Ready Player One for, like, the longest time, like, in the background while he's been doing these other live-action movies?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe it's been on the back burner, and that's why he's been rushing out all this other shit. Cause he's
yeah, I mean, I love the dude, but he has not made a movie that I've cared about in a long time. Probably since
the last movie. I really want to see Lincoln, but I never just had the motivation to. I guess. But
never.
The last movie I saw. The reason why is because the last movie I saw of his was War Horse, and I really did not like it.
I think the last movie he made that I cared about was War of the Worlds.
Yeah, it was probably it. Before War Horse.
Yeah, I didn't see War Horse. I didn't see Tintin.
Oh, I want to see that.
It looks good. I don't know anything about that fucking character.
Lincoln, Did you guys know that Daniel Day-Lewis is a crazy person?
Did he quit acting?
No. Well, he did that, yes, but he was like one of those super method guys to the point where it gets ridiculous.
Yeah, he cobbled.
Apparently, from what I understand, during the filming of Lincoln, he lived in like a log cabin.
What? How does that help you be Lincoln?
There's also some other, Lincoln Logs. There's also some other movie.
Oh God!
There's also some other movie he did a long time ago. I forget what it's called, but he was like paralyzed in that movie, and he made the crew like carry him around everywhere. Like he had to be paralyzed the whole time. He couldn't get out of character.
Oh
I can imagine like he's in character when he's playing Lincoln, and then when they stop filming, he's like, "Where am I? What is this confounded future world?"
How did he walk after that?
I need to kill some vampires.
Your legs would fall asleep so fucking bad. I'm sure that's what he wanted, but man, like afterwards when you did have to get up, it would be hell. It would take the pins and just imagine the pins and needles. Oh my God.
Like when I heard about all this, I was like, damn, and I thought Jared Leto like went a little far. Like Jesus.
Yeah. He fucking he threw a dead pig at his castmates.
He gave them dead rats, apparently.
Although,
which is something really the Joker does not do. He's just being like an asshole.
None of the things that he did in that, I'm preparing to be the Joker. None of it sounded like stuff the Joker would do.
No.
You know how Heath Ledger got into the character as the Joker? He went into a deep psychological psychosis and wound up dying. That's how you be the Joker.
Jesus Christ.
That's how you do it right. Oh.
Yeah, you either die a magnificent actor or see yourself grow old enough to appear in Adam Sandler movies.
And in Blade Runner. He's going to be in Blade Runner.
Oh yeah, that's right. That looks actually really good. I was so against a Blade Runner sequel like the minute it was announced, and then as soon as I saw a single trailer, I was like, all right.
That's the guy who directed Arrival, I think. So definitely full steam ahead. That's a good movie.
I haven't seen Arrival yet, but I've heard nothing but good things.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, you should definitely watch it.
Let's see. For more movie news, apparently the Spawn movie that Todd McFarlane has been hyping up for like years upon years now is finally happening, apparently, thanks to having finally found the studio who is willing to take his demands of only allowing him to direct the movie and write the movie and have it for a mere low cost of $10 million. And that studio is Blumhouse Studio, the same company that provided us with the Paranormal Activity movies and the Purge movies. So they're really big on like super low budget indie style horror films that are so cheap that they are able to get their money back 10 times full, like within like the first weekend alone.
But why would anybody allow Todd McFarlane that much creative control? Like, because he handled his comics so well?
This is going to go so badly for everyone.
Remember what happened the last time a comic book writer ended up being at least a co-director for, a full-time director in a movie?
Yeah, remember Sin City? Not Sin City.
No,
fucking
The Spirit.
Yeah. Well, The Spirit was like Sin City 2 light.
Yeah.
Who did that?
Frank Miller.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's no good.
He wrote, I think he wrote and directed. I know he directed, but did he wrote that shit? Because it definitely sounds like him.
He fucking ruined that character is what he did.
Ugh. No good. I'm tired of this Spawn shit. Either make the damn movie or don't make the movie.
Well, aren't they making a Sam and Twitch series for fucking BBC America?
They're in BBC America. They're still making that, which is weird because apparently, so the Sam and Twitch movie, it's going to be a movie about Sam and Twitch.
Well, is it a movie or a TV series? I thought it was a TV series.
A TV series. So it's going to have all that supernatural stuff in the background. However, with Tom McFarlane's Spawn that he's been pitching forever, he also wants Sam and Twitch to be the main characters and have all the supernatural Spawn stuff in the background. So it's like, wait a minute, you're going to have a TV show and a movie with the exact same premise. Are they going to be connected in any sort of way?
Is this going to be
well, because I didn't imagine that the Sam and Twitch show would have Spawn in it. I would assume that the show takes place.
Be like the Brian Michael Bendis run, huh?
It'll probably take place before Spawn is a thing,
or after, and it's just like more other supernatural stuff from like other sources other than Spawn.
Yeah,
I just wonder if it's going to be a Flash Justice League situation, or more of a Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius situation.
What do you mean?
Like, yeah, are they going to be connected or are they going to be not connected?
Oh, who knows at this point because nothing has been said. It's just like, oh, hey, look, Spawn is back, everybody. For realsies this time.
And then two people are like, yay.
Yeah.
And the rest of us are like, who?
Show me a trailer, man. Show me a trailer. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, but I'm going to say, I know there's whoever I bet you there's going to be certain people out there who's going to be like, oh, you're judging a movie before the trailer's even out. How dare you have a negative opinion on this thing?
I don't have an opinion. I don't.
For me, I have doubt this is going to be good because it's Tom McFarlane. He's not a good writer. He's never directed a movie before.
It'll be a fascinating train wreck, though.
It's probably, yeah, and it's going to ignore all the things that could have made Spawn work as a over-the-top, crazy demons versus monsters versus angels type of world. Nope. He wants it to be dark and gritty and horror-centric and no superhero elements whatsoever.
I want that animated show again. That's what I want. That fucking animated show from
that's another thing he's been trying to pitch for years now. He's been trying to pitch a new animated Spawn movie. He's been trying to pitch a movie, trying to pitch a TV show, trying to pitch a cartoon. This guy, his head is still living in like the 1990s.
Eventually, he'll bring it back on Adult Swim, and everybody will like it until the ending, and then half the fan base will turn on him.
Is that what happened with Samurai? Is that what happened with Samurai Jack?
Yeah.
Beginning Tartakovsky story. Because half the fan base apparently are idiots. I didn't realize that before.
Did you like the ending?
I love the ending. The ending
was fucking beautiful, and people are just pissed off because it wasn't a happy ending. And I'm like, well, you know what? Life ain't fair.
Or probably they don't like it because it's just too short, or they don't like it because it contradicts what the comics or an earlier episode stated.
Well, yeah, the only thing I didn't like about it is that they just sort of brushed the whole Guardian thing off to the side. I would have liked them to come up with a way of addressing that better. But other than that, man, like, come on. They're just mad because they were shipping him and Ashi, and then Genndy Tartakovsky, messed with their ship. That's all they care about. The fucking Bill arguing about the fucking iguana Komodo dragon thing from Godzilla.
I love how that happened. Like,
cute.
That literally happened 4 years ago. Like, what the fuck? Like just all of a sudden, like, all right, we're bringing that up. Bill's an idiot for this, and I'm like, all right, well, fine, but 4 years ago, all right.
All right. So yeah, Spawn is coming back for whether we like it or not.
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. He said, "Show me a trailer, bro." Fucking Todd McFarlane's in there. I'm like, "Show me a trailer, bro." He's like, I don't have a trailer. I just have a pitch." That's his voice.
I'm Tom McFarlane. I have the script. I worked on it all. I worked on it for like 2 whole days.
No. At first you said all night.
I'm Tom McFarlane. I like to retcon everything.
I wrote it all on loose leaf.
Like George Lucas.
He's like George Lucas, but less.
He sounds like him.
Yeah, but his lisp is so much worse.
Like there's something like a cross between George Lucas and Jimmy Stewart. I'm like, wow.
I don't know if you saw the old Spawn movie, but it was the greatest film ever made.
Listen, the thing about Spawn is that he's not gay like Batman. Batman didn't even like girls in the comics. He liked, Todd McFarlane literally had this rant once, where he just went on this rant about how Batman didn't even like girls in the comics, that he was gay.
He also talked about how Spawn is, like, more realistic than Batman.
Yep.
How many women did Batman date in the fucking comics?
But he was always like, he didn't...
A lot.
Yep. He's like, oh, in the movies they showed it, but in the comic book she was a fucking gay man. And I'm like, well, not at all. Like, what are you talking about?
No. Maybe at a certain point you could argue that, like in the 60s, where there's that one famous comic cover where he's like, I must wear pink today. But you ever deal with that? I've never read that issue, but it's a life goal.
Oh, God.
Let's see. Next piece of news. Sonic... as related to Sonic, where Sega decides to cancel the Archie Sonic comics, which has been going on for like a good 23, 24 years, I believe.
Jesus.
Since the video games first started. And, Archie always had the exclusive license to make the Sonic comics. And recently...
Him and that weird kid on the internet, right? There's some kid who makes like some bad Sonic comic, right? Where everybody fucking makes fun of it.
Kid? That's not, ain't no kid. That's like some 30-something-year-old man-child thing.
Oh.
There's also some kid on YouTube who became a meme for a while because he would just like go on rants and scream about people who don't like.
Sammy Sonic fan. I remember him.
What the fuck?
He was one of those kids that gets a video camera and then goes on the internet. It's like, Sonic's fucking awesome. If you don't like Sonic, you're a queer.
This literally sounds like how my YouTube channel started.
So
except with Sonic instead of Godzilla.
Although I think one of the reasons why Sega decided to cancel the Archie comics was because there's been a lot of weird legal battles, because there was this writer named Ken Penders, I think. He created some stories for the Sonic comics, and then he's like, I own all these characters now. If you want to use these characters for future stories, you gotta give me royalties. And so Sega decided to just the people at Archie, they decided to wipe the slate clean and try to reboot the Sonic comics and try to get rid of all those characters that Ken Penders kind of was able to legally own, and he tried to go off on his own with these characters that he created and make a whole new web series out of them. I think it's some really weird, bizarre shit. But
did he get away with the web series?
I think so. Yeah. And so
how does that work?
Yeah,
I have no idea. Oh yeah, one of these characters were like echidnas, and so which was the species that Knuckles the echidna is, and so
nothing like a real echidna. I don't know if anybody.
No, nothing like a real echidna.
None of them actually look like the animal.
I mean, Sonic does not look like a fucking hedgehog. Let's be real.
And so I think what he did was he made these characters into aliens with their names sounding like Echidna.
Oh god.
So he completely changed them into an original creation, which you could have done in the first place.
Sounds like Ultimate Galactus. Ugh, blow me.
So, surprisingly at this year's Comic-Con, it was announced that IDW is now going to be in charge of making the new Sonic comics.
Well, I'm sure they'll do a bang-up job, like they did with Godzilla.
I'm sure it'll be great, like everything else they've done, so...
Yeah. And all the Sonic fans will buy it, and then they'll be like, we made $5. Let's...
Oh, no.
Hey, man, never underestimate the power of Sonic fans, okay? These guys are crazy.
I know, it's insane. Are you a
Two of our friends are Sonic fans.
You a Sonic fan, Andres? Do you care about this?
I used to be a hardcore Sonic fan.
He can really move. Sonic, he's got an attitude.
He's the fastest thing. Oh god, you got me started. So I used to be a big Sonic. I used to be a big Sonic fan back in maybe middle school and high school, but it was around late high school I kind of dropped out of Sonic because at that point on the internet it kind of became a bit of the Sonic fan base gained this really bad reputation, so anyone associated with Sonic would be then associated with all that other weird shit. And so it was at this point I kind of dropped out of video games and Sonic and got more back into Godzilla and movies in general.
Into man shit. No.
So what you're saying is you used to be a Sonic fan, but then you grew up.
In high in high school. We're so maybe fucking with you. It's great.
I'm so sorry, Denny and Andrew.
We're kidding.
So I'm still just I consider myself like only a casual. Although the last Sonic game I played, the last Sonic game I owned was perhaps from like 2010 or 2009 or 10. And the last game I played was from like 2013, I think.
It wasn't the werewolf one, was it? Because that's the last one I remember.
That was the last one I bought.
What year was that? That was 2009, 2010?
Oh, 2008, I think. 2008.
Okay.
But the last one I played was Sonic Generations, which was that 20th anniversary game, and that was from 2013. I played it, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I remember. I have friends who are into it as well. I remember that one being well remembered.
Yeah, and let's see, anything I do try to keep up with Sonic. I always, yeah.
Anybody who might be listening to this goes all, you fucking Sonic has a great fan base. There's half of them. Like I'm
the vague internet is attacking us again.
I'm just breaking your balls. I don't actually give a shit about Sonic one way or the other, good or bad. Mario's better though. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, didn't they fight in like a Winter Olympics or something?
It was the Chinese Olympics, then the London Olympics, and the Winter Olympics.
Why didn't they just have like? Olympics. Why didn't they just have like, I don't know, a bar fight or something? Like that would have been a good enough decider, I think. Rocky V style.
Probably.
My ring's outside. Or no, would have been
my
like,
ring is outside.
My ring is outside. And then Sonic would have been like, yeah, whatever the hell his voice is. We're the
like, oh yeah,
we're
totally cool.
Oh my god, please stop talking.
The worst thing about him, isn't it?
You're
That's
too
the worst
slow.
thing about him.
Oh shit, please, I'm gonna kill this goddamn rodent.
Name Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, I know exactly what you are. Please stop talking.
What the matter? You're probably not too. I'm just too cool for school.
No, you're just against God's holy plan. And I'm not even.
Step it up.
I'm an agnostic too. Like that's how fucked up that is.
And then there's the really bad Sonic fans. Ones that are like, let me tell you about my original character.
That's a funny thing that you mentioned that, because in the newest Sonic game, it features a create a character feature.
Well,
so now
God.
All of those original characters.
They honestly should have done that forever ago, because the Sonic fan base is all about that shit. Like it was a genius thing that Dragon Ball video games started doing that, because Dragon Ball fans have been making up their own bullshit characters for years, and they're all Saiyans, and they're all like Super Saiyan 6 or whatever.
No, they've all got a letter after the Super Saiyan. It's like Super Saiyan X, Super Saiyan Z, Super Saiyan R. I remember combing DeviantArt back when I was like 13.
They all managed to escape the destruction of Planet Vegeta because they ain't got time to eat whatever, and it's all the same.
I love it.
That's exactly the case with Sonic original characters. I'm Sonic's long lost brother, and I can use the Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emerald and this Emerald and to turn into Super.
It's like, do you guys remember when introducing a shit character was more interesting than one who could do everything? Like that. That's what I used to remember. That was telling a story back when I was young.
No, man, it's about making a super perfect character that's better than everyone else, who's friends with everybody.
The Sonic's brother, his name is Boom. Yeah.
Oh God.
The last piece of news I have is the next slate of DC direct-to-video animated movies. Let's see. So it was previously announced that they were going to, for 2018, they were going to do an adaptation of Gotham by Gaslight, which was the Elseworld story of Batman.
That sounds awesome.
Age. Yeah. The next one they are making is a new Suicide Squad movie, which is going to take place in the canon of the pseudo New 52-ish DC animated movieverse, where it's going to be an original story with the team of villains that are made to work for Amanda Waller and the government.
Because the movie made money.
Kind of.
Oscar
and
wins Suicide Squad? Yes, it...
True. sadly.
It was a critical darling in the in the makeup academy, I guess.
And so the latest one that was announced for Comic-Con is that they're going to do a 2-part animated adaptation of the Death and Return of Superman.
Didn't they do that already? Wasn't it really shitty?
It wasn't really shitty. It wasn't the comic at all. It was an original thing that they masqueraded as the comic.
Right.
Sure.
And
They better set it in the 90s.
That was 10 years ago. Superman's Doomsday? That was 10 years ago, guys.
It doesn't surprise me. It feels like 10 years ago.
That's before or after Brainiac attack?
That was
Brainiac?
Way after.
Not way after. It was like a year or two later.
What was worse, Superman Doomsday or Brainiac
attack? Brainiac attacks by far. Are you fucking crazy? At least Superman Doomsday has a story.
I only saw Superman Doomsday once. I've seen Brainiac attack on several occasions.
It's pretty. It's not great, but it's not terrible. This will probably be fine. They're only doing it because they did a bit of the Death of Superman in BVS, and really fucked it up. But
so now the animation people at DC, who are the ones who actually give a fuck, are like, we gotta do the real one.
Well, that's like they already fucked it up 10 years ago, so now they're gonna try and correct it. I guess. I mean, it's not. See, here's the thing: the story is good, but it's not great. So there's room to improve it, if anything. This could actually be pretty good,
especially with 90s era Superboy.
Yeah, well, it's not even that. It's also like the Justice League is a mess. At that point,
they really got to change them. They really got to change the Justice League. They can't have Fire and Ice and Booster Gold and Guardian or whoever those characters were.
Guy Gardner when he wasn't a Green Lantern.
Oh God!
Is 90s Superboy the one who always looked like vaguely Mexican? You know what I'm talking about? There was one.
He's the one in the leather jacket.
That's right. Okay.
Earring. Made by Cadmus.
To quote Max Landis, the guy who looks like a Chippendales dancer.
Yeah, okay, yeah, gotcha.
Leather straps. I remember the leather straps.
Let's just hope that they handle it better than they did the Killing Joke and don't insert a scene of Superman and Supergirl having super sex on a rooftop.
That would be so much weirder and less appropriate than what they did with Batgirl and Batman. Although it would be more appropriate in that era of DC because Superman and Supergirl were not related. She was like a weird protoplasmic entity.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Are they going to have that version of Supergirl or?
Well, I don't know. I would assume if they're going to do a 2-part adaptation, they'll do it like The Dark Knight Returns, where it's as close as possible. So they might do the weird '90s Justice League and the weird protoplasmic Supergirl. And the
weird '90s good guy and the weird '90s good guy Lex Luthor.
Yeah, well, he wasn't a good guy. He was masquerading as his own son and having red hair.
I would be sold on this if and only if they do the full thing. They do the sequels and they do the fucking Eradicator and the fucking Metal Superman, Cyborg Superman. They do all that shit. Fucking make a saga out of it. Because I want to see that last issue of the Cyborg Superman thing is one of my favorite things ever because that's one of the rare Superman issues that I owned, and I would do that in animated form, especially like when they're fighting him inside that giant building and like the whole building is him because like he assimilates the technology. It's like,
oh yeah,
it would be really cool in animation. Also, the Green Lantern fights Mongol and shit. Like it's just an action-packed thing. I want to get there eventually.
Because that's the thing. There's a bit in between because there's 3 books. There's The Death of Superman. There's World Without a Superman, which is the best of all of them, and then there's The Return of Superman. It sounds like they're gonna do the first 2, and they're gonna kind of fuck over the middle bit. But the middle bit is the best bit. Is the problem? Like that's kind of where the story is.
Funeral for a Friend.
Funeral for a Friend, but the trade is called World Without a Superman.
Okay.
Have they ever done this for the Batman thing where he gets his back broken and then fucking Azrael or whatever?
Nightfall? No.
They've never done an animated adaptation of Nightfall. Although, funny enough, several direct-to-video movies have made reference to that storyline.
Yeah, where he's like, at one point I broke the bat, now I break the man. And I'm like, I think you did both of those things last time.
Not by the continuity of these movies, I haven't seen that at all. You think they would do that? That's kind of a big deal for Batman. It's like,
Yeah. Maybe the world isn't ready for 90s Bat Azrael.
I'm ready. Well, I think we're also ready to start wrapping this up.
Yep, that is the end for my news.
Well, all right then. So,
there were a few news items.
Oh yeah.
Well, we had some deaths recently.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're gonna end on deaths. Okay, fine. All right, good. Depress us all.
George Romero died.
Oh yeah, that was a tough one.
The dad from Home Alone died.
He did.
Wow. Stan Lee's wife, and if you're sitting there thinking Stan Lee's wife, but you know her, she was Madam Web in the animated series, and she was fucking awesome. She was
dead. Awesome.
Which is unfortunate because that makes me worry about Stan Lee's health. The old people, they have a tendency to go right after their spouses.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's the world is going to have to take a day off when Stan Lee dies, because we're all going to have to go, all right, we have to reassess where we are as a civilization now.
Who was it? The soundtrack to Transformers, the fucking guy from, what's it called? Linkin Park, that's the band. Shit. He died. What did he die of? I don't know.
Well, he killed himself.
Suicide,
yeah.
Suicide, okay. So he's dead. So, yeah, they're all dead.
I've never heard a more respectful eulogy. Great.
He's dead, they're dead, we're all going to die, and that's all I wanted to say.
That's the way it is.
I'm very sad for all of their families. Condolences.
Oh, I did forget, I guess it's somewhat disrespectfully tie this into death. With death comes rebirth. With rebirth of a doctor comes the rebirth. The death of a doctor comes the rebirth of a new doctor. Yeah, we have Jodie Whittaker playing the 13th Doctor.
The doctor's penis died. I will be holding the funeral. Very sad when you lose a penis.
And the internet lost its mind.
It exploded. Yeah, I saw that.
A man's penis is his closest friend. It's that case. So, Bill, we haven't talked about this on recording. How do you feel about the doctor having a pussy? As far
as I said before, I'm not caught up. I haven't seen the new season yet. The last thing I saw was the last Christmas special. So I don't know what's going on. I know that I know that there is shenanigans going on in the Christmas special, but
that is one way of putting it. Yeah. Shenanigans.
Well, here's the thing. It's this. I feel the same way about it as I always do, where it's like I don't know who the actor is. I've never heard of them before this, and
apparently Broadchurch, which by everything I've heard is something that I should watch.
I watched the first episode of that. It was good. I don't remember her being in it, and
apparently she was the mother of whoever the murder victim was.
So yeah, I did see her then. I don't remember. I'm sure she was great, but I mean, I feel the same way about it as I always do. Ultimately, I don't know who they are. I'm sure that whatever they do with them will probably be fine, and everybody will be really sad when they die. I mean, that's what I said about Capaldi when he got cast. Ultimately, though, I totally called this. I knew they were gonna do it. They've been building it up since they cast Capaldi. They were like, we're doing a girl next. So they certainly built up to it. So it's ultimately just a question of how they write it, how they handle it. Is it going to be fucking unbearable, or is it going to be entertaining? You know, is she going to be charismatic and charming and fun?
Yeah, they've been setting this up for quite a while, like you were just alluding to. There was always talk back during the classic series of, could we cast a woman? And of course they never did. And then the first time they ever alluded to it in the new series was actually all the way back in a Matt Smith episode, The Doctor's Wife. Where he's talking about this Time Lord friend he had called the Corsair and how he was a woman at one point. So that was the first time we found out, officially, they're like, the Time Lords, they can regenerate into a different sex. And then they did the thing with Missy, and then they did the thing with the General.
Obviously, Richard Attenborough did it. Fuck.
Richard Attenborough? What the fuck?
No. Who is that guy?
He spared no expense.
No, fuck, no, wrong British guy. Let's see, who is his name? Rowan Atkinson did it first.
Oh, and yes, I was about to bring that up in the Red Nose Day special. Yes, that was the first. thing to really play with it, where the Doctor turns into a woman after going through all 13 of his regenerations in 2 minutes, and the next cycle starts at a woman, and then he and the Master go off to have sex. Yeah.
But they've been setting it up for a while. I do kind of, the only problem I have with it is I kind of wish they waited a little longer, like maybe 14 instead of 13, only because we just did this with Missy and with the Time Lord General on Gallifrey.
It feels a bit like, oh, now everybody's turning into a woman at once. It's like, well, is there some kind of is there estrogen in the fucking atmosphere? Like, what's going on?
Especially if you look at the pop culture like trends nowadays, where everyone is always looking for diversity.
It's estrogen and melanin in the air. It's like
you also have to worry that,
everyone is turning into women or non-white people.
God, that sounds like a really weird apocalypse scenario.
Women and non-whites.
No white males. Everyone run for your lives. I can't live in this world, Clarence.
Jimmy Stewart and Grace Kelly. What's happening?
What's happening to our planet?
No, but you have to worry only because of the way that Doctor Who has sometimes handled diversity in the past. New Who hasn't always been the best about this.
I'm just glad Moffat's not writing it. That's what I'm happy about, because he would. Because the way I imagine it going positively is it'll be done cleverly and they'll do something interesting with it. The way Moffat would do it, it would be an hour of the Doctor going, "I've got a pussy," na 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 na, you know. Like,
I mean, they obviously need to address that right away. She just needs to get it out.
Well, yeah, sure. They need to do something fun with it and not have him fucking, just fucking. Jerk himself off for an hour about it,
He just needs to come into the TARDIS, just lay it all out there, just put that pussy on the table and be like, this is how it is.
But I just think they need to have fun with it and not just make it about the history it's making and about the coolness factor, which is what I think Moffat would have done.
You also have to worry, and this is mainly the reason why I wish they had waited a little longer after Missy to finally do the female Doctor thing, even though the setup for this being the next thing was pretty obvious. You got to worry that it's going to be a bit gimmicky. It already feels a bit gimmicky just because we've done it so many times.
I mean, it was a little, but they already had a little bit of a problem with Capaldi going gimmicky anyway, because they did the cranky old man thing and then people didn't like it, so they had to change it. So this has already bit them in the ass in the past.
Yeah, he was too cranky in season 8 for most people. I enjoyed it.
I loved it, but then they did like a natural build, so it was fine. But
that he went a little bit too far in the other direction, though. That's one of the reasons season 9 is kind of.
Is 10 like a bit of? I agree with you. Is 10 a better balance with that, or?
Oh yes, 10 is by far Capaldi's strongest series.
Yeah, because he was a little too mushy at the end of 9.
There are like 2 or 3 episodes in 10 that I can straight up say that I don't particularly like, but the rest of it is like really strong, and the finale, holy shit,
dude! Listen, the first Doctor is back. I'm gonna watch it again. Don't worry.
Yeah, you need to, because we need to talk about it on DFLS in the near future, because I'm exploding.
We will
talk about the fucking thing with the Master, and it's great. But
all right, I will watch it. I just watched a whole bunch of Dragon Ball Super. Right now, I'm actually watching another show. I'm watching Hellsing. So as soon as I finish that, I will.
The anime?
Yeah. Well, I finished the anime. Now I'm watching the OVA, which is longer. So it's gonna take me a while.
Whatever. Like when it comes to anime, that seems like the last thing I'd expect you to watch. Just anime. In
Why?
general.
It's a vampire thing. Like, it's actually fucking great.
He probably decided to watch it finally because he liked Castlevania.
Yeah.
That's one that's been on. That's one that's been on my list for a while. I need to check that out. That's the one with the crazy German guy, right? With the glasses. He looks kind of like the guy
Hellsing?
from Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I guess. Are you talking about the main guy? Because I mean, Alucard he's got a red trench coat, duster, hat, yellow glasses.
I've seen clips of some little creepy.
Oh yeah, the villain. Yeah. Well, he is in the OVA. There's 2 Hellsing things. There's the original anime, which is only loosely based on the manga, and then I'm sure somebody, a fan of ours, is listening to this screaming at me getting this wrong right now, but because I just got into it recently. And then the OVA is more based on the manga, and that's where the Nazis come in.
Apparently there's a Hellsing Abridged by Team 4-Star.
That's apparently based on the OVA, not the anime. The anime... Okay, so here's... I've seen like 4 episodes of the OVA so far, which, again, longer and more based on the manga. Here's my breakdown. The anime is really good. It's shorter. That's one thing I really liked about it. And it's really fun, and it's very stylized. But...
The anime is shorter than the OVA?
Yes, the anime. Well, there's more episodes, but the episodes are shorter. Is what I meant. The OVA is an hour.
How the fuck did that happen?
No, the OVA is 10 episodes.
Hour long.
Yeah, they're hour-long episodes, and it's 10 of them, and then the anime is 20 minutes, and there's 13. But what's better about the anime is the girl, Saris Victoria. She's essentially the protagonist, because Alucard is a weird protagonist, because he's a vampire and he's a demon, and there's a bunch of other shit you learn about him where it's like, all right, it's not really the protagonist. So she's better in the anime because she's not unbearable. Oh my god, in the OVA, they make her like this super typical anime girl where everything is like this over the top joke, you know, like she's a character who can't be taken seriously at all. Ugh.
I wonder why they didn't just call him Dracula. Like, why did they rip off Son of Dracula with Lon Chaney instead?
All right. Well, so I'll explain it then. I don't know why we started talking about this, but Alucard. All right, so the Hellsing organization is formed by Abraham Van Helsing after he beats Dracula in the novel is essentially canon, and then after that, the show's chronology happens, and his lineage then takes on Dracula as a servant to fight the legions of the undead. I don't think it's ever explained why Dracula goes along with this, but for some reason he becomes like this weapon of the Hellsing family to go after vampires, and he starts calling himself Alucard instead of Dracula because he doesn't want people to know who he is. So
Gotcha. That's basically the same reason Lon Chaney started calling himself that in Son of Dracula.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't want people to go, oh, because he wants his enemies to underestimate him, because he's ultimately looking for somebody to kill him. I think it's subtle, but I think that's why he agrees to be this servant of the good guys. He wants them to put him up against something that'll actually kill him. It's really good. Because like, here's my thing. I don't like...
All of this take place in Europe?
Yeah, it's England. It's all set in England.
Why doesn't Hollywood adapt this instead of making Ghost in the Shell and pissing people off? There's plenty of anime that are set in Europe.
Yeah, I would love a Hellsing movie. Oh my god.
You could totally make a Hollywood Attack on Titan movie. All that set in Europe. There's only one Asian character. That's a plot point.
Yeah, Hellsing is one of those. Hellsing is one of those things where if they adapted into live action and they did an Asian cast, you'd be like, this does not make any sense.
Can you imagine if they did that with like the Big O and they had like some like Dr. Serizawa looking guy as Roger Smith? Like it was.
See, well, but like at least that's set in like a Never Neverland, so whatever. But this is set in a very specific place, and also it's the descendants of Abraham Van Helsing, so you know it's a British family.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder what nationality they would go with if they ever made a Trigun movie. Because that's pretty influenced by Western culture as well, but it's not necessarily like... I mean, it's in space, so it doesn't really matter.
Anyway, you should watch Hellsing. It's good. Let's wrap this up, though, because this is a super long one.
I forgot to bring up the Chayo Ultraman. So just to cover this quickly, Chayo, they have the legal distribution rights for the first 6 Ultraman series from Ultra Q all the way to Ultraman Taro. So... they've been trying forever to get an original Ultraman product off the ground, even though they legally cannot produce any new shit with Ultraman, with the Ultraman brand. And so recently a trailer came out and a big conference came out where apparently there's this popular Chinese CGI superhero series called Dragon Force, no connection to the band of the same name, and they're playing on a crossover between Dragon Force and Ultraman with a movie called Dragon Force So Long Ultraman. And so Tsuburaya
Which
Productions
Ultraman?
Oh, the original. This CGI version is clearly based on the original. I'll send an image once again on... Oh, actually, I can send it on Skype right now. So that is the character model for the CG Ultraman.
Hang on, it's loading. Definitely bootleg Ultraman. Because it's like simplified cartoon version.
Yeah.
Oh, it basically just looks like the one from that CG trailer that Tsuburaya did.
Yeah, and what was also weird, I can't find the image right now, but there was a conference, and they had a dude come out dressed as Ultraman, except it wasn't a dude in a spandex, it was like a guy in a really weird-looking mask and, like, spray paint and shorts.
What the fuck?
I really hope that this...
Do you have a picture of that?
I'm trying to look right now.
I really hope that this finally winds up being the thing that just kicks Chayo right in the dick. And it's like, stop it. Just...
Yeah, so how did is Tsuburaya suing them? Like, this movie is obviously not going to happen, right?
Yes, they are going to sue them. Let's see. Checking right now. Yes, here it is. Okay, so this is an image. They are actually several GIFs of the weird Ultraman that's on stage at this weird little press conference.
Oh, I love a GIF. Man,
it looks like the trailer has been taken down. That's included in this Kotaku article.
Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, that is weird.
Well, all I'm thinking is, what is up with the chin?
What?
And apparently they didn't bother to paint the crotch, I think.
What's up with the weird where he's sitting in the chair, like, rubbing his stomach?
I don't know.
What is this? So I also
bootleg Ultraman. It's Chinese bootleg Ultraman.
So that
why does Ultraman look like he's presenting? Why?
So this Ultraman.
How did they get away with this? Like, look at how fucking over the top this is.
Because Chayo, who thinks that they're allowed to do this, gave quote unquote permission to have this this bootleg Ultraman movie be made.
So okay, so hang on. So let me. I mean, you gotta remember. It was a year ago we listened to that podcast where August Vergone laid all this out. Yeah. So Chayo had some dealings with Tsuburaya at some point.
Right. They made 2 movies back in the 70s, which was like, what was it? I think it was like the 6 Ultra Brothers and Hanuman versus the Monster Army, and like Jumbo Ace the movie.
So 2 weird. After Ultraman was popular, Ultraman things. Yeah. And they, because they have the rights to those movies, think they have the rights to the character.
Oh no. So Sampote, what's his name? Sampote Sandwenchai. I could be mispronouncing that. He made the claim after Noboru Tsuburaya, which was Eiji Tsuburaya, son. After Noboru Tsuburaya passed away, Sampote conveniently showed up out of nowhere saying, "Hey, look, here's a contract that Noboru signed, claiming that I have the co-creator rights to the Ultra franchise, and he has given me the rights to these characters and these TV shows."
Oh,
Tsuburaya was
right.
Tsuburaya was like, "The fuck you don't!"
Oh, this is coming back to me now. And I remember he was like walking around on sets and shit with the contract.
Right. And he claimed that he went on set and during the production of like one of the Godzilla movies, and he claimed that he gave Eiji Tsuburaya the idea for creating Ultraman, and he gave him the idea of the look of Ultraman based on certain Buddhist statues.
What the fuck?
I've seen a lot of Buddhas. I ain't never seen no Buddha that looks like Ultraman.
And let's see.
I know Buddhas. Nobody knows Buddhas better than I do.
And so for years... Sampote Sandwenchai has been trying to swindle the legal rights to Ultraman, and was able to get the international distribution rights to those 6 series from Ultra Q to Ultraman Taro. And so that's how we were able to get Ultra Q, Ultraman, and Ultra 7 all released on DVD by Mill Creek and Shout Factory.
So Chayo has everything else.
They have, again, the legal distribution rights, the international distribution rights to the other shows, which were like Ultraman Ace, Ultraman Jack, and Ultraman Taro. Those are the 3 last shows that they have yet to distribute in any way, shape, or form.
Because Chayo has it.
And they also have Jumbo Gaze. So Chayo has those 6 Ultraman shows plus Jumbo Gaze.
So why don't they release the stuff that they have and stop trying to be weird, fucking swindly motherfuckers?
Because they want more. They want more.
Why? But so they can get the more later. But why don't they just do the first thing first then and release the shit?
Honestly, I have no idea because
this company,
a couple years. Sorry, go ahead.
I forget. Is Chayo like Chinese, Korean? What are they? I know they're not a Japanese.
It was Thai.
Thai. Fucking figures. No.
It's from Thailand. So, a couple years back, they announced that they were trying to make a movie with Hollywood. They're trying to pitch an Ultraman movie, which was like Ultraman versus Gomora at the 2020 Olympics. And so they were trying to pitch this movie to Hollywood investors. They had claimed that they had Hollywood producers who were the same producers from the first Transformers movie. Tried to have a press conference, but they had his press conference in like this weird Chinese theater, and they didn't really invite the press. In fact, the people from the Kaiju Kingdom podcast were there to document the whole thing. And they also claimed that they were going to have Blu-ray releases of all 6 Ultra shows plus Jumbo Gaze. However, in the 2 years since that conference, nothing has come out about that Hollywood Ultraman show, nor has anything come out about those Blu-ray releases. And I think a year or 2 back, they claimed that they wanted to Dr. Will Smith to play Ultraman.
Right, I remember.
Yes, they claim that they want to make Ultraman fresh.
What is like the story with Ultraman in this fucking movie then? Like, can they I can't imagine what they fucking present him as. Like,
I only imagine that this is meant to be like the original Ultraman, and that he just shows up, so he's gonna help out these characters from Dragon Force.
He appears to just be like kind of standing around more than anything. In this little footage I'm looking at.
Who knows?
Legs in front of the camera.
So anyways, Subaraya Productions, they noticed that, my theory, my personal theory is that because they couldn't get this old Hollywood Ultraman movie off the ground, they're trying to farm out Ultraman and to whoever's available in China. It's like, so China says, hey, we want to have Ultraman, and Chayo came in saying, hey, we have Ultraman, talk to us if you want to get permission. And so now that's why they're making this movie. And so Subaraya actually...
What happened was these Hollywood producers. This is assuming that they ever actually had any producers talking to them. I'm prone to think that they're just blowing smoke out of their ass. But let's say that that's true, and there was some Hollywood producer who thought this was a good idea. They probably looked into it, realized that Chayo were fucking lying scumbags, and were like, no, they don't actually. We're going to get in huge legal trouble if we make this movie, and then back the fuck off. They're never going to get anybody to agree to do any of this shit because they don't actually own it.
And funny enough, they've been trying to produce an original Ultraman product for years now. They've tried to produce a series called Ultraman Millennial, which would have featured other characters such as Ultraman Justice and Ultraman Dark, I think. They had these live shows.
Ultraman Millennial sits on the couch and plays Xbox.
Subaraya shut that down. They tried to made a series of live Ultraman stage shows, which Subaraya tried to shut down.
Ultraman stage shows. What these guys are like cheap carnival hucksters.
Well, here's the thing: the stage shows, that's a thing here in Japan as well. A Kamen Rider and Ultraman and Sentai stage shows.
Japan actually did the whole Spider-Man turn out the dark thing, and it worked.
Yes.
People go see?
Yes.
We do.
Yes.
We can only seem to make it work on ice. Like, it's like, oh, we got Marvel heroes on ice, and it's like, it looks
We
like
haven't managed
shit.
to make that work. We haven't managed to make that work since the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And saying that worked is a stretch.
Well, except when it's on ice. We can always do it on ice. Like, we've been doing that for years.
So anyways, and they also tried to get an Ultraman. Chayo tried to create an Ultraman theme park made, but Tsuburaya shut that down. So it's like these people, they don't know when to quit, and so that's what led them to this collaboration with Guangzhou Blue Arc Animation Studios.
So why did they think they could cross him over with somebody else? Like, what made them think they could get away with that?
I don't know. Maybe they think if they try hard enough, if they believe in the heart of the card, Tsuburaya will give them a pass. But
do Thai people just not understand copyright laws? Like,
maybe just Sampote Sangduenchai, who can't get it through his thick skull that he does not own the rights to produce original Ultraman products.
Like, is this a cultural thing, an education problem? Like, do they need a lesson in how copyright works? Like, and does this company do anything else? Is their entire business model propagated on trying and failing to make illegal Ultraman products?
I honestly have no idea. But eventually, Tsuburaya made an official public announcement against this, and thankfully August Ragone, who reported this story on his blog, actually made a full translation of this. So it says the following, according to the translation provided by August Ragone. On July 10th, 2017, Guangzhou Blue Arc Animation Studio, a Chinese corporation based out of Shanghai, China, issued an announcement for their latest production using Ultraman series characters and entitled Dragon Force, So Long Ultraman. Regarding this announcement, we were completely unaware of their production, and the picture was made without our authorization or supervision. Also, use of various Ultraman characters and footage in this presentation/trailer seriously damages the Ultraman brand, so these actions should be resolutely condemned, and likewise deemed as absolutely unacceptable. Now, vis-a-vis the handling of usage rights concerning the original Ultraman series productions, Ultraman Ultra Q, Ultraman, Ultra 7, Return of Ultraman, Ultraman Ace, and Ultraman Taro, outside of Japan, these long-term disputes are still being pursued in several territories. Regardless, in each and every judgment so far, we have been persistently declared the legitimate producers of the Ultraman series and holders of all respective copyrights therein. Furthermore, all associated rights to create new productions, such as this aforementioned Chinese production, or any modifications or adaptations of the Ultraman series characters, new or existing, still belong solely to our company. Based on the above, we intend to take decisive measures, including vigorous legal action against the Chinese companies who willfully participated in and made this presentation trailer, and additionally, all parties involved in the production of the picture itself. We are deeply remorseful in this situation. We are deeply remorseful if this situation has been the cause of any concern and or inconveniences. We also sincerely apologize from the bottom of our hearts.
Who would this inconvenience? I mean, maybe the company making the movie.
Or even like the fans of Dragon Force who are excited for this movie. We also sincerely apologize.
Yeah, like that show is gonna be fucked. Like because anytime they try to make a new thing now, it's gonna be like, oh, you're gonna rip off Ultron again?
Who the fuck is Dragon Force? Like, the fuck is that shit? What are they doing?
We also sincerely apologize from the bottom of our hearts to our valued clients, shareholders, and the fans of the Ultraman series as we look forward to your continued patronage and support. Thank you for your consideration.
So, thank you for your consideration. Are they applying for an Oscar? No,
applying for a fucking job with the SOS. Like, all right, well, fucking Tsuburaya, what do you got, man?
So this is dumb. Like, this is worse than the fucking Thunderball thing. Like, You don't.
Oh my god, it's so much worse than Thunderball, because at least there was some ground to that.
And at least that had a resolution. This has been going on for like 50 years or some shit. Like, you don't own this thing. I'm sorry. It's very sad. I wish I owned a private jet, but I don't. Okay?
I wish I owned the rights to Ultraman.
So just stop. Just stop, Chayo. This is why we can't get an American like.
Stop.
This is why we can't get like an American release of those fucking shows that they have the rights to, because it's all tied up in bullshit. Just get your act together. Fucking, I don't know.
I found one clip of Dragon Force, which is like 11 minutes. I guess it's some just like showing some action, some trailers showing a bunch of action footage.
It looks terrible.
What does this company do other than try to rip off Ultraman? Are they like an insurance company in Thailand or something? Like,
let me check. Chayo.
Who fucking knows?
It's just one old rich guy trying to get the right. Because wait, didn't that guy die who's been trying to get the rights? Like, and now it's just his.
No. I'm pretty sure he's still around.
Oh, okay. So he's still kicking and still trying to get the rights to Ultraman.
If he was dead, this madness probably would have stopped by now.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Like, I would say it would be unusual if he had died and it was still going on.
I understand. It's very disappointing not to own things. Okay, we can't all start out with a small loan of $1 million. It doesn't happen. But you gotta do something.
Let's see. He directed this guy, Sampote Sangduanchai. He did directed these two Tsuburaya co-productions, which is like the Six Ultraman Brothers versus the Monster Army. He also did the Jumborg Ace movie.
Have you seen?
Yeah.
Are they any good?
I have no idea. And apparently he made like a bootleg, an unofficial Kamen Rider movie, I think. Let's see. He made a movie called Hanuman and the Five Riders. Hanuman is that like original character that he placed into the Jumborg Ace movie and the Ultraman movie. Let's see. So half of the movie of this unofficial Kamen Rider movie, half the footage he's took from another Kamen Rider movie.
Isn't there some famous property that's from Thailand that he can try to rip off? Like, why is all the shit he's trying to rip off Japanese? He's not even Japanese.
Because I guess Japan produces the most popular entertainment for Asia in general.
That's probably true.
Let's see.
Can you imagine if some Canadian company helped Warner Brothers out on a Superman thing, and then for like 30 years down the future, they're like, we own Superman. Ours now. This would never fly over here.
The Salkinds tried to do that with Superman. They made that Superboy TV show. That was a desperate ploy to keep the rights to Superman.
Let's see. So Chayo Productions is like an entertainment company or like a filmmaking company, and apparently I'm looking at his filmography, and he's been making movies from like around like the 70s and 80s.
Oh, I hear that un-American siren in the background.
It's that same one you would hear in like that awkward long pause from Terror Mechagodzilla before Godzilla makes his grand appearance.
I thought more of from Godzilla 2000 when that fire truck swings into the foreground of Godzilla coming at the camera towards the beginning. But yeah, that works too.
One of his most popular non-tokusatsu related movies is Crocodile from 1980. And from what I hear from people who have seen the movie, it's a gigantic mess of a movie.
Is it about
where it's like it's
crocodile?
Nonsensical? Yeah, it's a giant crocodile movie.
What is this, like Thai Lake Placid?
It kind of sounds interesting if it was made in 1980. I would kind of like to see it.
Or is it more like Thai Alligator?
Yeah, Alligator is... It sounds more like Thai Alligator.
Let's see. I think I may have found a trailer. And I guess it's just like a baby alligator, like running, or like.
Well, presumably a crocodile based on the title.
Let's see. Here's the trailer.
Shit, he may or may not be talented. I don't know. Why is he spending all this time trying to win this Ultraman battle that he's clearly never going?
Because he wants money.
Well, he's got money.
He wants more money, Dylan. All money.
Why can't he make money with something else? Why can't he?
Giant crocodile.
I don't know.
He's a cheap bastard who's too late to come up with his own shit.
I am totally gonna watch this. It looks like everything I love about life.
Maybe he's just some insane Ultraman fan who really wants to put his stamp on the franchise.
Maybe.
So you know what we should do? We should, as soon as like whoever's the head of Toho dies, we shall come up and say, "Oh, I have this guy borrowed money from me, and so in return he's given me the rights to Godzilla."
Yeah, we totally should. Well, no, we just want the rights to Dr. Serizawa. That's all we want.
Here's his forged. I mean, here's his signature, signature stamp right here.
Oh, it's all right. They don't speak English anyway. We're fine.
No, what we got to do is call Martinez up and be like, hey, we read Doragon in bed and we took a picture. So now we have the copyright.
We gave you the idea.
We're gonna make a movie.
Yeah. Oh God, no. Really, the best example of this is when I make my Draco Azul movie.
Fuck.
Can't wait. I'm already in pre-production. Got concept art, studio, everything.
Don't rip off Draco Azul. I have a piece of that pie. Rip somebody else off.
It's like, Dylan, I'll bring you in, but not Andres to consult.
Oh, in that case, whatever.
Big blue robot. It's gonna be great. Get ready.
If it had been some other character of Andres's that I didn't help him design, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, so that is the true ending to the news roundup.
And that's Chaos Theory.
That's
all right.
Chaos Theory.
Awesome. Well, this is a super long one, so we appreciate you sticking with us. So, without further ado, we're gonna wrap it up. And till next week, everyone, we're gonna be back to the normal schedule now. We're not gonna take a summer hiatus this year because I didn't go to G-Fest, so I'm not feeling that like summer burnout that I usually feel of doing podcasts and stuff. So we're gonna keep it going. And besides, we just took a massive break anyway with the Talking Ape series that we did, and that was all I was posting for the past week. So we're gonna come back to our normal stuff now that's over. So get excited about that. Maybe some more stuff as well, but we got to think on our future courses of action before we announce anything. So until then. Until then, I am Bill Worster, a.k.a. Zazubaar.
Go listen to the most recent episode of DF West. We talked about Dragon Ball Super, and Bill's audio was shitty, but you should still be able to follow it.
It's not as bad as I thought it would be, but it's still pretty bad.
But then also look out in the near future, because we'll have to do.
Dylan.
We do to the week of Kong, it'll be the weekend and a day of Kong. So watch out for that. We'll talk about the movies.
It's already a week and a day because we have the other addendum.
Oh yeah, fuck. A week and 2 days. So
it's already more than 7 videos anyway. It's like 9.
Look out for Loki on the Island of the Skulls. That's coming.
Yeah, Loki and Nick Fury.
Huh. And I'm Andres Perez. You can check out my documented series of my experience at G-Fest over on my channel. I have the first 2 videos up as of this recording, and hopefully by the time Bill uploads this podcast, more videos will be uploaded. As you can see, me, Brayden, Patrick, and Andrew all regaling to you guys our thoughts and feelings on everything that we experienced at G-Fest, along with a commentary on Godzilla vs. Hedorah in memory of the unfortunate passing of that infamous film's director. So, yeah. Oh, and by the way, you can also check out for further videos along the way, including an upcoming review for the recent Castlevania Netflix series.
Oh, all right. Cool. All things to look forward to. So, until then, the science is sound, kids.